Vegeta, what does the scouter say about their subscriber count?
It's 9,010.
Wait, so you mean
Yes, Nappa. It's over.
it's over?
It's over 8,000!
What eight? Wait, what?
There is a story so strange in its implications that it defies ordinary classification.
I don't care if you've been squabbing over Spidey all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times, the video. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with that dang shit on my left. Stitch.
It must be winter because we're about to have some freezing cold takes.
On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, Chuck Beat out on threes, fours, Chronos.
I can't believe I'm 40 years old. I'm about to fucking die, y'all. Somebody help me. Somebody help me.
In the middle, we got the oldest ninja in the world, Old Ninja.
Spider-Man Broken Home coming out to theaters 2022.
And last but not least, returning once again, your boy Blue.
Y'all guys out there eating booty. Can't even eat a vegan burger.
Oh,
Damn.
Damn, or the brown side of a banana.
Oh.
All right, let's get into it. Homestead, we got.
All right, listener of the week would be Fall Nish. Thank you very much. Listened a bunch of times.
Thanks, fam.
Really appreciate it. And first in the shout would be my boy Aiden, also known as I gotta go back. It is 5150 HCRX.
That's what's up.
Welcome back.
Always
Welcome
showing
back.
up.
Yes, he is.
All right, Old Ninja, you usually pour out some type of malt beverage this time of the show for respect.
Respecting, pouring it out for a real one. Peter Fonda pouring out some King Cobra. He's best known for bringing biker culture and counterculture. I guess counterculture is formerly known as the hippie culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are they renaming shit?
I don't fucking know. He passed away on August 16th from lung cancer at the age of 79. He's the father of Bridget Fonda and the brother to Jane Fonda. He's won...
The traitor?
Hmm?
The traitor? Jane Fonda?
She's a traitor?
Yeah, Vietnam War stuff.
Oh, he was a part of that. That's the counterculture.
Oh, that's traitorism. Is what that is.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's called counter. Oh, that's why they changed it.
Oh, that's probably why. Sure.
Yeah.
So
I don't. Just to clarify, I don't know if he was with her though.
Oh no, he wasn't with her. She
Okay.
was with her crew. He was with the Beatles and whatnot. Really quickly, he's won Academy Awards for Easy Rider for Best Original Screenplay. Uli's Gold, he won Academy Award for Best Actor. Back in the day, he partied pretty hard. He was in the 60s. He took LSD regularly. He partied with the Beatles. He got arrested on the Sunset Strip because I guess Sunset Strip had a riot back in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. He partied, like I said, with the Beatles, got arrested. So when he got arrested, he sang on a song that was written about the riots by the Buffalo Springfield. And in a Roger Corman film, he had a fake eulogy that got sampled by numerous rock bands. He was an actor, director, action star, real one.
All right, good shit. Old mother. Well,
Yeah,
not that
79.
Old. 79
It's
is
up there. But
79 is
he
up
did a bunch of stuff. I mean,
It's not up there. I'm getting there too, goddammit. Shut the fuck up.
I've been past that. Still going. But yeah, he's done so much more in between. I just whittled it down.
I'm assuming he has like a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame or something like that.
You know what? Some people don't, and they've been doing it for decades. So
Yeah,
maybe
I think it's your fan base that has to give a
Is
fuck
it the
about you or something.
I thought it was
can't
the
remember.
Academy. I have no idea. I don't know how they do it. I mean, shit. If Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck can get one, Peter Fonda definitely should have one.
Batman got one. He's the only superhero with
He
one.
just got one this year, last
Yeah.
year.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Superman has one. He's been had one.
No, I thought Batman was it.
Yeah, I think Batman's the first comic book
Was
character.
he? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Superman.
Not first animated character though, because the Simpsons have a
So does
flag.
Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
Mickey Mouse too.
Oh, Mickey Mouse too.
I don't know. Does Superman have a thing?
I
double
would
check
assume
that.
that he
Fact
got
check that shit.
he got one from Christopher Reeve.
But that's for a
performance.
film though. But I think Batman got one.
Batman as a character got one. Like
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves could be on there.
Yeah,
Like,
but I'm talking about Superman as a whole. He
Yeah.
might have gotten it before.
we can
Maybe.
use the interwebs. We can check things. We can fact check. All right. While the fact checking is going on, the chat is obviously lit. This is gonna be a fucking interesting show. Obviously, we did not have Stitch last week, and we didn't have Blue either, right?
No, I was here.
No, Blue was here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Stitch, where was you?
Tripping.
Me and Stitch aren't the same person, goddammit.
Oh.
Remains to be seen.
All y'all look alike.
I think I had to paint.
Yeah, you're painting baby room.
Yeah, painted nursery.
Danger
You
room.
finger painting or what's going on?
I wish it was finger painted.
Were you painting with the PS4 controller?
It would have been easier. It's a Microsoft MS Paint. See,
Did you use extra lead paint?
It's it was the most fool's errand that I got sent on, and I tried. First of all, everyone knows in here, but those that don't know, I'm colorblind or whatever. So I am sent on this
I can't hear it. It's all good.
this task on painting or whatever, which already I'm playing with fucking a half deck on this whole fucking
Do
thing.
you want the room gray?
It was gray, so I'm like, okay, but of course there's a bazillion fucking different kinds of
Oh
grays.
God.
I left the so-called swatch at my house because I wasn't paying attention to this random ass gray fucking thing on the kitchen table that I was supposed to bring with me. So I'm like, and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I go in the paint section, they'll have white, black, and I guess maybe gray, but no, they got a mixed gray.
Yeah.
And do all this stuff because I don't fuck around in the paint section because it's pointless for me.
What about even like the gloss though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's semi-gloss. You got satin. You got
I had
full
to get
gloss.
eggshell.
You got it's eggshell.
Yeah, so thankfully the professor helped me out with that because it would have been all fucked up trying to tell how dark it was if I was pushing too. It was a fucking
Don't you still have your chromas?
yes, but I'm like inside, so I don't really get all the lighting that I should. So it kind of
Yeah, they're like kind of sunglasses, so you
yeah.
can't really use them indoor.
So it was an adventure for sure, but
Oh,
thankfully
God.
it came out good.
At
Hopefully,
least you think it's looking like, oh shit, it's all gray.
yeah. So that's tied up most of my my Wednesday last
Yeah, for
week.
folks that are actually colorblind, I understand that you don't see it just gray.
Yes.
So I'm just being a dick.
No, most people probably have to.
What
go
are the
to it.
colors that you mix up though? For you?
It's red green. It's I forget the actual. I cannot pronunciate the actual category.
Like the primary
It's
color?
it's a for each sort of color. For
Deuteronomy?
oh no, That's something close to that.
Dynamite?
But it affects like shade like the red green ish spectrum or whatever. So they blend in and look very very fucking similar.
All right.
Yeah.
So you just run stop signs then, huh? Is that what you're saying?
I
Stop
go by
lights?
shapes. Octagon.
They don't even
But still say stop.
All right, goddammit. Let's jump right the fuck on
They're printing
in.
out now, so.
I know that.
So yeah, Superman does not have a star on the Walk of Fame.
All right, so that's only
Damn.
only
He's a
only
terrible
Ba-
superhero. That's
only
bad.
Batman then.
Fuck Superman. Fuck Soups too.
God
Oh, damn.
fuck them kids. That's what Homelander was saying. Pass one over to you.
Should have been 5, right?
This would stop.
Oh, we gotta wait.
It's all-
It needs a minute.
Oh, that's all good. Let's jump.
Tired,
Right,
all
Give
right?
that printer Viagra, man. What the fuck?
oh, I can't
Had
get
a
it
heart,
out.
yeah. Can't get it out.
Let's jump right in.
Flop, flop, flop.
Stitch, there's big news with Spidey. You want to break this down? And you know, you weren't on here last week. This is
I
all the internet is talking about.
gotta get my pen just so I can keep track and how much backpedaling you're gonna be doing because you've been dancing and
What did I
gloating
do?
like it's
You
goddamn
be
How
flip
does
Fourth of
flopping.
July.
how is Spider-Man news about me suddenly?
Well,
anybody that
first,
follows
let's
you-
break it down.
yeah.
Break it down
Yeah,
to the
first.
real-
set it
Once we
up.
go in, he'll start doing his backflips and whatnot.
Okay, it appears that there is a holdup in contract negotiations going on between Marvel and Sony in terms of the property and the Spider-Man property, which to simplify it was kind of like leased out to Marvel and Disney.
It was pimped out.
Well, they say lease, but they sold it back in the day. They sold them the rights.
They did.
Yes, but I just want to clarify one quick thing. The maker of the last two Tom Holland movies is technically Sony.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Sony owns the rights.
Yeah, Sony owns the rights.
Yeah.
They worked out a.
Because I see a
worked
lot
out
of bullshit online about, oh, well, the last two Holland movies were actually under Disney, but they technically weren't.
No, but they worked out a deal where their universes were intertwined to simplify it and everything. I guess there was some negotiations going on because I thought it was sort of like there was a set number of films that had already, been agreed upon. So it was
I think
5.
it's 5.
Yeah, I think it was 5.
Well, so they're-
Well,
they're remaking it,
no,
right?
No, I think he was going to appear in 5 movies,
That's
which
what I mean.
included the 2
Avengers
Avenger movies. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
and
guess
Civil
they're-
War.
And yeah, I guess that would be 6, wouldn't it?
That's 5. Two
No, I guess
two
they're
Avengers,
done.
Civil War, and then 2 solo Spideys.
Okay,
That's
that's
5.
Okay. So now they're at contract negotiation impasse, and I don't know who put it out there, if it was Sony or Disney, but saying that we can't come to an agreement between what's going on with Spider-Man, and it was put out there, and obviously comic fans are have set the internet on fire, and everyone's got a opinion, take, mad, happy, gonna storm Sony rather than Area 51, all kinds of reactions all over the spectrum.
One thing I heard was that I guess Sony, since they own the rights to Spider-Man, they were like, well, we get 100% of the profits that the movie makes, and then Disney or Marvel, they get profit off the toy line that it sells. But I think Marvel was like, hey, we want to go 50-50, and Sony was like, nope. Took Spidey and walked away.
So
that's what I heard.
There's been a lot of speculation on what's going on. There's a report even today that even talks about how the split was supposed to go down. They also talked about how the revenue sharing went down between Sony and Disney, which was kind of interesting to me. So there's a lot of stuff being said. Sony put out some tweets about what happened and how they felt disappointed on their situation, but there's a lot of stuff to read in between the lines about what's going on. There's been a lot of stuff, both reputable sites and posting different information, because this just barely happened apparently. As far as the public knows, apparently these negotiations have been going on for a little over a month.
I don't know why people are mad at Sony.
There we go.
I really don't. Listen, Marvel fucked up. They almost went bankrupt, back in the late 90s, early 2000s. They decided to sell all the rights to a whole bunch of characters, and that was their bad. They had to live with the decisions that they made back in the day. They sold those rights, and for Sony to be like, no, this is a major revenue stream for us, and they don't want to give it back, honestly, I can't fault Sony for that. They make money, they make billions of dollars, and for them to be like, just give it away, so easily, I get it.
Let me add one little quick thing to that. Sony put up, because again, it was a Sony movie, these last two solo Tom Holland movies. Sony put up the money to produce the films as well.
Yes.
Like the $200 million, whatever it is, to produce and market, I believe. And so it seems interesting to me that Disney Marvel came in with negotiations again. If we are to believe what's put out there in the press, of I want half, even though you put up all the money. That's interesting.
This is where I get a little bit confused, because I've been seeing things about also the co-producer, the producing credits and everything, and it seems like there's a lot of back and forth on who's getting credit for what, if they're being listed as co-producers and et cetera, which is I guess Hollywood stuff that just is over my fucking head, because I don't get what the big deal is with that.
Can I tell you what that is? All that is
my dick is bigger than yours.
Yeah, it's dick measuring. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So
no, hold on. Well, Kevin Feige was the producer of Far From Home.
He is, but he did not get producer fee for either of the MCU Spider-Man films.
What do you mean a producer fee?
He didn't get paid a producer's fee. Producers get paid a lot of money. Instead, what Marvel Studios got was a 5% first dollar deal, while Sony got 95% deal.
That doesn't make any sense. He had to have gotten paid some money. A producer gives money to make a film.
He does, but according to these sources,
I don't
which
give a
all
shit what
agree,
those sources are. None of that shit makes any sense. A producer puts up money to get paid in the long run, right? So for a producer to go into a contract negotiation and be like, listen, I want to take your money but give you nothing back, that doesn't make any fucking sense. So I'm not going to believe that one just on face value.
Sure.
Sounds weird, man.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
But
they'd be like, yo, I want to borrow like $1,000 from you, but I'm never going to pay you back.
Yep.
So the producers, because it's Feige, and then what's it say, Amy Pascal?
Yeah.
But she's no longer with Sony.
Oh, that must be recent though.
I guess she got fired after Sony got hacked. So there were some emails when Sony got hacked. She got fired after some emails came out that did not paint her in a good light. So Sony Pictures has I believe his name. I have his name right here. Robert. Or no.
So both these producers are Marvel producers then, or no?
No, it's Sony.
Amy's
on this
Sony, at least I guess formally. That's news to me.
Wait, hold on.
We're Wikipediaing on the spot here.
I'm not on Wikipedia.
Okay. Because I mean,
Okay.
this is where it starts to get a little bit over my head.
Yeah, this
and
one's a
I get
little weird.
confused about like, okay, are these Marvel producers, both of them? I know Feige is tied to Marvel; his contract is through them.
Yep.
And I guess because of their negotiations, Feige was able to produce these Sony films, even though he's a Marvel under the Marvel roster and everything. That's my understanding. I could be wrong. If I'm missing something, I
That seems accurate. I
so
mean,
it seems like they want to keep Feige on these tied with the Spider-Man franchise and tied into to Marvel with him being the producer. But so if that deal between Marvel and Sony is kaput, then so goes Feige.
yeah. One quick thing to add.
Tom
to that.
Rothman, that's the name of the head CEO of Sony Pictures. It was Amy Pascal.
But Amy Pascal, she's still a producer though.
She's
For
not for Sony.
Well, no, but she's still a producer, so she's still financially tied to Far From Home.
Okay.
Right.
So
Real quickly too. Again, I'm trying to parse through just like everybody else with this news. I think I've read that Tom Holland is still under contract to play the role of Spider-Man in upcoming films.
So apparently he has, what I'm seeing is that he has an option to do it one more time. It would be under Sony and away from the MCU if they move forward and do a non-partnered film.
All right, you found something, Kronos. What'd you find?
yeah, so apparently there was a gender pay gap controversy with Amy Pascal, which I'm actually on her side. So after Pascal left Sony, she was interviewed by Sony Entertainment. She was interviewed about Sony Entertainment's gender pay gap, and had been exposed by the leaks. Tina Brown asked Pascal to explain why the actress did not realize why actors were being paid less than male actors. Pascal said, and I'm quoting, people want to work for less money. I'll pay them less money. I don't call them up and go, can I give you some more? What women have to do is not work for less money. People should know what they're worth and say no.
When you have a good agent
Yeah.
negotiating on your behalf, it
Yeah.
seems like they may have been able to get more. I
Well,
don't know who
not
that
even-
actress is.
Not even just that. Well, she actually brought up, I think, Charlize Theron a little bit later, but it's just, you don't even need an agent to know your self-worth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you think you're not getting paid enough, just turn down the role.
Yeah.
You know, like if somebody, like if I'm interviewing for a job, this happened to me plenty of times, where somebody offered me less than what I wanted, I'd be like, okay, no.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not going to say yes and get paid less money.
No, I hear you. The only thing I will say too is sometimes, just like we were talking about with Tom Holland, there are multiple year deals, and so Tom Holland money is going right now in 2019 is very different than what it was in 2015, 2016. Tom Holland.
Yeah, yeah.
But I hear you. I
Yeah,
agree.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
that always happens when I mean, same thing with Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah,
when
she
I-
blew
yeah,
up.
Yeah, when people blow up. So
She blew up, then
Well-
blew out.
Well, no, the main reason why she blew up is because she was complaining that George Clooney got paid more than her, and it's like, no shit.
what I meant, like, blew up like in terms of her stardom, like with
Yeah,
Hunger
yeah,
Games. Yeah,
But even still, like after she blew up after the Hunger Games, she was wondering why she didn't get paid as much as George Clooney. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
You're not
Negotiate.
Clooney.
Like, why don't I get paid as much as fucking Tim Cook?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
I know last week we were talking about incomes, and George Clooney is the #1 paid
Yeah, we
actor in
talked about
Hollywood right now.
And
which
we,
is,
none of us could name a recent
Yeah.
movie of his. But,
Nope.
But let's not get too
Right.
sidetracked. So I'm sorry. You wanted to get in here, old did you?
I mean, this basically comes down to money, really.
Pretty
I
much.
mean, what had happened was Sony got their first Spider-Man to $1 billion through Marvel Studios' help. After that, they're like, oh, we appreciate your help, Feige. We know what y'all do. Now we're going to do this on our own. This is basically what this comes down to. That they want to take this is Sony's best-selling franchise.
it's their prize pig.
Oh, for
They have
sure.
nothing else that has generated this amount of revenue. And with Disney and Feige's help, they got to $1 billion. Now they feel like they can do this on their own. So they're going to pull and try to do it on their own. However, there are still reports saying that they are still negotiating
True.
It's
what's
an-
going
I-
on.
Hold
think-
hold on. It's, yeah, so they also own 007.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
So it's not their highest grossing franchise.
They're but best-selling franchise.
The last Skyfall did barely worse than Far From Home. Even though Far From Home is still in theaters, I think, right?
Is there
Are
a
they
Bond
done?
movie that's done $1 billion?
Yes.
Yeah.
1.1 billion, Skyfall.
Yeah.
Skyfall?
And then
Okay.
Jumanji was almost $1 billion as well.
Yeah. That was, yeah.
So
yeah.
if that's the case, then why is it that 3 weeks ago that Sony Pictures just broke even?
Well, I mean, there could be a lot.
I mean,
of
there's a
different-
lot of-
there
of
could be a lot
course.
of different reasons. We don't want to
But
get too sidetracked.
with the help of Far From Home, they broke even, which is not a good look for investors.
Well, okay, so let's back up a little bit though. I hear where you're coming from in terms of Spider-Man being basically a prize pick or one of the prize picks for Sony Pictures. I totally get that. At the same time, I'm seeing a whole lot of fucking bullshit in terms of people indicating all online that Sony can't do shit with Spider-Man. It's a failure whenever Sony's involved with Spider-Man. Last week we all fucking praised Spider-Verse. I'm also going to tell you the fun fact of the Raimi trilogy that some people are fucking disrespecting and shitting all over. That trilogy combined made more money than the Iron Man trilogy, Captain America trilogy, and the Thor trilogies. So we just have to give some credit to the fact that Sony, independent from Marvel Studios, has had hits.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
it
Iron
made
Man
more
3
than-
made $1 billion, though.
It
did.
It made more than X-Men, I'm pretty sure. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
franchise, if not all of them.
But just that Raimi trilogy. Then if you go to ASM, which made less. If you take the first two of ASM, they made more than the first two of Cap, the first two of Thor, the first two of Iron Man. The staples of the fucking MCU. I don't
This
think
was phase 1, though, or phase 1 and
Okay,
2.
but I'm talking about first two movies of a reboot, in the first three movies, period. And remember, Spider-Man came out in 2000.
I don't think. I mean, yeah, sure. I bet there are people on Twitter that are trying to shit on the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy.
No,
They're
more than
wrong.
a few.
Well,
There's a lot.
logically, logic sound people know that those were successful
Those are
movies.
blockbusters.
They were
Yes.
successful, but I mean, it's not. They weren't perfect movies.
No. Yeah.
I mean,
No,
the whole basically Spider-Man was a goddamn mutant. That shit kind of pissed me off. But
I totally hear you, and I will say this: neither was the Iron Man trilogy. I love the first one.
Yeah.
The 2 and 3,
Yeah.
Thor trilogy, 1 and 2.
I think. I think
one
what
was really good.
what people are mainly mad about is that you have something that is red hot, white
It
hot
is.
right now in terms of what's going on with the MCU and with Spider-Man. Spider-Man was red fucking hot. Now, if you're saying you're going to take this out and either reboot it, people are going to be pissed because
Yes.
people are lined up. Well, I mean, as a Spider-Man fan, I'm bidding, just fucking twitching, waiting to see the fucking. What do you fuck? What's your face out?
Okay,
for?
Stitch.
I'm
Okay,
the same
yeah.
way. I'm about to call you out on your bullshit.
Yeah, okay. You got to be fair though. Legitimately, dude. You can't sit here on this mic, this hot mic, and tell me you would not support a Tom Holland versus Tom Hardy Sony only movie? You telling me you're not going to support a Sony Spider-Man movie?
MCU less.
A MCU less Spider-Man movie?
I
call bullshit on that if you're
I've
saying
been
that.
saying that I want to see Electro, Scorpion. I want to see those villains get together, which they've been slowly piecing together. And I said this after my review on Far From Home.
I hear you.
That's what I want. Right now I don't want to see Spider-Man versus Venom. I want to see him take on his 6 rogues and put them on the screen together, which I've said I will patiently wait for, just like how they built up that whole universe to go for the Infinity Gauntlet.
3 times.
Yeah.
They built it up 3 times.
You will be at day 1 opening night if they right now announce, hey, for 2020, end of 2020, we're going to, or end of 2021, Venom versus Spider.
How would you even successfully make that fucking movie? That's impossible.
Hold on. Listen. I'm going to call you out on your bullshit right now. Because you're sitting here talking about how, that they're going to possibly reboot it again, how it's going to be bad. They literally rebooted this movie 3 fucking times in less than 20 goddamn years.
I didn't
By
say
different
I didn't say
studios.
it was going to be bad. I said I am waiting for Electro, Scorpion, Mysterio, and all of them. I'm waiting. I want to see them finish what they started building.
You said in the beginning they said you don't want to see it rebooted again. But you're fine with the other 3 reboots?
You will watch any Spider-Man movie. I don't know why we're
I will-
equivocating over words.
I will watch it, but I will be extremely.
I'm so mad. Giving you my
You're
money.
going to watch it opening night. You know this. I mean, come on. And you're going to give it a 10 out of 10.
They are taking something they're building up, which is going to be. I mean, they have a track record of building up a successful fucking movie.
So
Yes.
the 4
Universe.
times too much.
With who?
The fourth time's
With
too
Marvel?
much. No, the fourth time with Spider-Man is too much for you. The fourth,
Reboot.
franchise reboot. That's too much for you.
If that happens.
Not 3.
They haven't.
It's 4.
They haven't. When have they successfully completed their Spider-Man project?
Answering questions with questions.
What I'm saying is, this is their 4th time. The other 3 didn't bother you at all. They rebooted that shit in the middle of them making an entire storyline, just rebooting it.
Yeah, it bothered me. It bothered me at the end, not knowing them restarting it. I watched it beginning. I'm like, here we go again.
Hold up. Okay, wait. This is not me trolling. I'm trying to get an honest answer out of you. Are you sitting here on this hot mic in front of our live studio audience?
I'm not saying. I'm not
telling them
saying
you wouldn't support opening night a Spider-Man movie live action regardless. Even animated.
I will watch it. I will watch it skeptically. I mean, I watch these X-Men movies skeptically as fuck, and I watch every fucking X-Men movie opening night. Doesn't mean I'm fucking enjoying it or fucking rah-rahing about it and say, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna fucking watch it opening night. I do that with every fucking X-Men movie, and damn near every time I say, this movie sucked. This movie was fucking trash. But I'm an X-Men fan, so I will fucking watch it. I watched Suicide Squad fucking opening night and said, that sucked. I'll probably watch Suicide Squad 2 and say, that sucked. Or whatever. I mean, I'm a comic book fan. I'll watch shit, even though I think it'll probably fucking suck.
That's not a comic book fan. That's somebody just throwing their money away.
I mean, just because they put Venom and Spidey in the same film does not guarantee it's going to be good. Just like Justice League. We had all these heroes in one film, and that fell apart.
So they really want me to watch Tom Holland and pretend like nothing I've seen Tom Holland do over the past couple of months exists.
And if this,
how are they going to explain that? That's what I'm curious.
It's the same thing with the other reboots. You're explaining the same exact
You're
situation.
rebooting with the same character and the same fucking.
Even if they did it
with Andrew,
that would make no with the same character. It's completely different if you're using the same fucking actor.
Wouldn't even matter.
If he,
so you even just explain how it doesn't matter because you still gotta fucking watch it.
It just left with a cliffhanger saying with J. Jonah Jameson revealing that fucking Holland is Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden we're just gonna pretend like none of that fucking happened.
It was Mysterio.
In a year.
Yeah.
No,
magic.
He wasn't really dead.
Yeah, so there's Nick Fury.
That's how they went.
Yeah, Nick Fury didn't exist. None of that shit fucking happened.
They won't be
at
able
all.
to say it.
I mean, they keep doing it because people like you keep fucking paying for all these reboots.
People like me.
Yeah, people like you.
$1 billion worth of people like me.
Yeah, it is literally.
Yeah, the majority.
The
majority of the fucking.
Yeah, people like you. Oh, this is gonna be a terrible movie. Let's just keep watching it.
Look,
don't compare this with Transformers. Don't compare this with Transformers. Where you're making it sound like it's a Transformers thing where people are just throwing their money at trash.
Prodigy will. I will say
cold take number one.
Let
me look at my pen.
I will say loudly.
Get this man drug tested.
These last two had some Transformer-y feel to them.
They didn't have editing problems. Like that's the main thing with Transformers. I'm not gonna go that far because Transformers had some
and the racist
serious editing problems. Yeah,
I forgot about the racist robots.
Shit pissed me off.
Balls dangling from fucking.
Oh yeah, from
that was only in one of them, right?
Yeah, that was the second one.
I may have blocked out a few Transformer movies.
The last one was really bad.
Last night was bad.
I can't remember the last two.
Yeah, I don't think.
And actually, fucking bringing in money.
I will say Bumblebee is probably the best Transformer film.
It was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, but everything else with like balls dangling and like people dying and they disrespected Hot Rod.
Look,
all bad.
People gonna watch Spidey movies.
Oh yeah,
I already told you the first trilogy that people now 20 years later love to shit on and Spider-Man 3 was not the greatest movie. I totally get that. I enjoyed 1 and 2. That trilogy holds up financially against MCU trilogies.
This is all a negotiation tactic.
And you're right.
This is never going to fucking play out like it is today. I don't
agree.
think Holland's already fucking supposedly unfollowed Sony fucking films on Instagram, all this other shit. This is
Jeremy Renner.
We are sports fans and we know how fucking holdouts work and shit like Zeke Who and shit like that. We know this is exactly what it is, except it's the actor version of it.
And Disney has buku fucking money. I guess one of the reasons why maybe I'm a little bit more on the side of Sony as the underdog here is just because Disney just broke a record and is going to continue to break records after Frozen 2 and Star Wars Episode 9 comes out. They have 6, 7, 8. I lost count how many billion-dollar movies they've had this year.
Oh, this year? Let's see.
Right? Didn't we count last week?
Oh, yeah.
You gonna tell me?
You had Captain Marvel. We had Aladdin.
Lion King.
Endgame, Lion King. That's 4.
Toy Story.
So this
Toy
begs the
Story
question,
4.
Is Disney going to consider buying Sony?
Oh.
Because that would be a wrap. Because Disney could buy Sony.
It's
It
not
could.
like they don't have the capital to do so.
They definitely do.
I don't know if it would be over just this issue. I think
Yeah.
they'd have to present more than
They
just
would.
this. But
And also,
I don't know.
they just acquired 20th Century
Well, no,
Fox.
you have to remember the other films that we already named a few of the films that they have rights to. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the 007 films. They also have Men in Black. They have a bunch of other films that are actually their money makers.
Wait, Sony or
I
Disney?
thought
Men in Black ain't
was,
no more.
I thought Men in,
money maker.
I thought
That's
Men in
flop.
Black was Universal.
No, it was Sony. I looked it up.
Yeah.
That's
So I think one of the big thing is here is that the reason why a lot of people are getting mad is because the way the MCU has been lining up Peter Parker to be the next Tony to fill in his shoes. I mean, if you look at Far From Home, they were really hinting at him becoming the new Tony Starks for
They
that
hinted in
franchise.
from Civil War on. Every time
Yeah.
Spider-Man's been in there. I mean, that's been their thing.
But now it's like, now what the fuck are they gonna do? Like, I guess is War Machine gonna take over for Tony, or you know?
Okay,
because we got Bucky.
Can we be honest? Can we be fucking honest, man? Nobody, for the most part, really loves War Machine. Like as a solo taking the mantle
But
on.
he's black though. What are you talking about?
Yeah, fuck him.
Hey, that's why. That's the whole reason why I was reading Iron Man, because Rhodey took. Well, he was in Tony
yeah, but
Stark's
from a
suit.
movie
From a movie standpoint,
movie
he's not.
standpoint, come on now.
I mean, unless they pivot and use Sam, but he's not really in that many MCU films.
Yeah,
Nobody really rallies behind him.
Nobody's excited. That doesn't get anybody's fucking dick hard. You know.
No.
I mean, I guess they would have to build them up super hard. I mean, maybe this TV show might.
We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it, but I don't see War Machine being a direct replacement. The other thing is, War Machine is kind of like someone who inherits the armor.
Yeah.
And he's nowhere near as charismatic. And
Yeah.
But when does he lead the team?
Technically-
Though? The only one who's led the team has been that's in the MCU now has been Captain Marvel.
Yeah, in the later version.
And Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has led the Avengers, or when they were called the Defenders.
And we're getting Doctor Strange too.
What about the Offenders?
Oh, damn.
The Offenders.
what about the Gender Benders?
We'll fucking see. I think Stitch is right in terms of this is fluid. You know, negotiations are still going on probably while we're speaking.
Yeah, didn't the first negotiation between Sony and Marvel supposed to be it's dead or whatever? Didn't that go back and forth?
Yeah, before. I mean,
Yeah.
money talks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Disney has a shitload of money.
They do, but I think Sony wants more money out of their property.
And that, you know,
Well, of course,
eventually,
Which is fine.
Why wouldn't they?
I mean, they're already getting 95%. And Disney's like, hey, let's go half and half. And they're like, nope.
Dude, I
It's a-
feel
it's a big jump going from.
Sonny will cave.
I
Oh
feel
yeah,
bad
I
for
feel like that
Spider-Man.
might happen.
That's yeah. So Sony doesn't have any fucking weight in this negotiation really.
I mean, they're leveraging. So
They're leveraging.
They're leveraging Kevin Feige, saying that he is too busy working on other IPs that they just newly acquired
Which is
for
bullshit.
him to pay attention to their IP,
The only
which
way
they don't own.
The only way Sony's going to get any true leverage is if, and this is unlikely, at least at this juncture, if they get things like Venom 2 popping off and does like $1 billion, Morbius popping off and doing a blockbuster, and Spider-Verse.
And Carnage as
And-
well.
Yeah, and
Oh,
Carnage,
yeah,
like
Carnage.
if their Spidey spin-off ancillary movies all do really, really big numbers, then they can go back to the negotiation table and put their fucking dick out and be like, "Hey, ours is big too."
Disney would
I mean-
kill that by switching up their whole timeline for films and trying to crush them on weekends that they
They
were.
probably could. A Guardians 3 film could crush as like a
They would literally
one of those
crush
little
them.
ancillary like for instance there's talk about a Black Cat Silver Sable film in Sony's docket. If they comes out and they drop Guardians 3 on that,
Oh yeah,
that's
Guardians.
going to bury that.
Guardians 3
3
Guardians 3 would mop the floor with that. I totally agree.
and then with Morbius, which is now in post production, if they drop some like they drop Black Panther 2,
Silver Sable for real?
yeah, Silver Sable and Black Cat. I mean, it's
Nobody
not
gives a shit.
that's still in like writing
Disney
stage.
has
so.
all kinds of weapons of mass destruction to drop all over this Sony weekend. That they'd be like, "Oh, you want to drop that? Here comes Frozen 2, dropping the same day." Oh,
or Frozen 3
Yeah.
or Black Panther 2.
yeah. They'll
hear
fucking kill
you.
them with pettiness, and they got more bombs than Sony does.
I mean, the biggest bomb they could drop is acquiring Sony Pictures. That's the biggest
don't
thing
have
they could.
to.
They don't have to, but they could if they wanted to. But I'd like the Oathbreaker was saying, it shouldn't be over Spider-Man. but you never know. It really could be.
But I also don't believe that Sony is incapable of making a hit Spider-Man movie on their own.
I wish
That's
we
fucking
had, I wish
bullshit.
we had a timeline of alternate universe where this whole Sony thing plays out.
Yeah,
because it
it'd
would.
be interesting.
I would bet money that it wouldn't
Fast
make more
forward.
than it would lose. It wouldn't make as much money as Far From Home.
I
mean,
think
I'll go on record and say it. I mean, I think I said it before that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was the best comic book movie of all time for me. Anyway, it's the best. And it had me questioning why the fuck we're still making live action, comic book films because they seem ridiculous in comparison.
The money.
Yeah, I mean, Into the Spider-Verse didn't
What do you-
even make 400 million versus Far From Home made 1.1 billion.
I think they could though. That's the thing. I think they could. They more than made back their budget.
Yep.
By like a lot. So
But you also got to take into account that it's about Miles, and a lot of people aren't too familiar with Miles.
Yeah, unless you're
versus
young
Spider-Man.
kids,
Here's the thing. It was an intro to Miles. A lot of people
Yeah.
had never fucking heard of him. Obviously, the comic book fans had.
Yeah.
But it did. Actually, I'll take you back. It did similar money to way back in the day, Batman Begins. You know?
Oh, yeah. I
So,
mean,
you never know. They could have a sequel that becomes even more of a hit now that people are familiar with Miles as an animated movie star.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's one thing I was going to try to get out is I feel bad for Spider-Man because it feels like he's being pimped out in the film franchise and in real fucking world. We got motherfucker just, you got some money? Here, take Spider-Man. It's like, damn,
man.
Spidey giving that ass out all over the place.
damn.
Can't catch no break.
Like a $2 hoe. All right.
Booty hole all beat up.
Where we going?
So let's move on. Did any of y'all watch Invader Zim Into the Florpus?
Fuck,
No,
I
I
forgot
did
to.
not.
God damn it.
No, but speak on it, man. I know you were excited. Go.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'll just speak on it for a minute. I'm not going to give anything away, but I've been waiting for a new Invader Zim anything to come out for like the longest time. We actually had the voice of Gurr did like one of our intros for a while.
What was his name?
I forget
You
his
remember?
fucking name, but I forget his name.
Okay, go ahead.
But
Voices are.
I can look it up, but I forget his name.
I'll look at it while you talk.
Yeah. Anyway, Netflix acquired at least a movie right to Invader Zim, so they made a new film called Into the Florpus, and it's I think it's an hour and a half long, but it was still Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon was still on there,
Oh wow.
so it was still like a credit on there, which is
Okay.
interesting. So maybe they'll be able to bring it back in some way, shape, or form. But the film was good. I mean, it was
Nice.
really good. It was funny. It was the Invader Zim that you love and remember. You know, it's hilarious. The shit that happens in there is great, and I hope that they make more.
Nice.
Hopefully, a lot of people watch it. So if you're listening to this podcast, that's his name. It's Ricky Simmons.
Nice.
Is
Okay.
the guy is the voice of Gurr.
I was trying to figure out how to say his first name. It's like Rosa Reek.
No, he goes by Ricky Simmons.
Okay.
But yeah, if you loved Invader Zim and you want to see him come back, this is definitely exactly like where they left off. You know, actually, it's a couple years. It's a few like years or so later, but it's the exact same sense of humor, exact same animation, exact same voices.
Is this the first time they've had movies?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they had like a special for like Christmas and
special,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah. But this is like a full like feature length film.
Yeah.
And it was good. I fucking loved it. I was cracking up. It came out on August
Saturday?
16th.
Okay.
So the day before my birthday. I think I watched it that night. So.
My kids are completely unfamiliar with Invader Zim, but it popped up on Netflix, and they'll almost give anything a try. So I think I'm gonna watch it with them over the weekend.
It's really funny. Like in the beginning, it's gross because like what happens to like Dib is hilariously bad.
All right.
So yeah, you'll love it.
It's been years since I've watched the show too, so I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah,
you know?
it's the same exact sense of humor. So I mean, if you don't like Invader Zim, if you ever watch it before, and you're like, oh, I don't get this, it's stupid. You're never gonna like this shit. But if you ever like even laughed at an Invader Zim episode, then you're gonna love the Enter the Florpus. It's the same shit.
Good
so.
shit. I'm gonna check it out.
Well, since we're kind of, I was gonna say since we're on Netflix's tip, was it? I can't remember if it was Kevin Smith, but somebody's gonna direct the animated He-Man series that's supposed to come out on Netflix.
Kevin Smith developing.
Yeah. So I guess it's just in talks right now. I don't think it's been confirmed, but
Oh no, it's been confirmed.
it has been confirmed.
Yeah,
All
he
right.
even tweeted it out that he's really excited about doing it.
Did it say it's gonna be an animated series or it's gonna be a movie?
Animated
Oh, okay.
series.
So the same studio that did the She-Ra one, I'm assuming as well, or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
I hope not.
One of our fans was asking if it was going to be like an adult film or an adult show, and I was like, well, you know, He-Man was super gay.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, I mean, you literally watch a guy go like a twink to like a power top.
Yep.
In the show that's super gay. So it'd be like gay porn if it was an adult show. But
Well, the remake they had was actually pretty decent. They made it more kind of I guess,
Oh,
masculine.
Yeah, more masculine. Yeah.
He was a little more badass than he was all wearing fucking a pink underwear.
He had a pink shirt too, right?
Yeah, and he had a
Sure
pink shirt.
did, yeah. Sticking with Netflix, we finally got Cannon Busters dropped.
Yes.
The anime from LaShawn Thomas. We've been talking about this anime and anticipating it, I want to say, for 2 or 3 years now.
And I kind of forgot that it was coming out
Wow, okay.
for a while. And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden it dropped. I remember hearing
Yeah.
some buzz about it right before it came out, and I was just like, all right. It was
I-
not what I expected.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing, and when I'm not going to spoil, because it sounds like you're still working your way
I
through.
watched the first 3. Yeah.
Oh, the
I haven't
first
started.
three.
I even forgot.
Okay.
I finished. You were watching the 2-stitch or not?
No, I haven't checked it out yet.
Okay.
Oh,
Did you,
okay.
How deep are you, Old Ninja?
What?
How deep are you in the
I finished
series?
it.
Okay.
I just did
His
it.
balls deep.
Yeah.
I pulled out already.
First things first, I love the dynamic between Philly and Sam.
Whoa.
Sam fucking works.
How
What do
did
mean,
you?
whoa?
How did you watch it? Did you watch it the way the default, the Japanese, or did you watch it English?
I actually
sub?
I watched it dubbed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize that
Oh.
there was an opportunity to watch it.
Yeah,
in
the
any other
default-
way.
I did not know it was dubbed.
Yeah, the
Netflix
default is Japanese, and then
knows me.
yeah,
Yeah.
the default. It says if you look, it says original is Japanese. That's the way I watched it.
Okay.
I watched it subbed.
Either way.
And I guess you were reposting about the actress, and who's one of the characters. She did the dub version,
Okay.
which I didn't even know. I'm probably gonna go. I know people that watched it subbed and going back to watch it dubbed.
I might do that. I enjoyed it that much, but Sam fucking works all the way through. She's
Well, hold on, stop. Can you explain the anime first? You just explaining.
Yeah, he's going all over the place. I'm like,
You didn't say it. So
what's it about?
You talked about how Philly and Sam work together. You didn't explain who the fuck Sam was.
I didn't even get to that part.
Oh,
all
Philly.
right?
No,
God
that's what you said in the beginning.
I didn't even get to that. But all right.
The first thing you said was, "I love the dynamic between."
And then
Philly
it got
and Sam.
cut off. All right. Here's the show. Fine, we'll rewind. It's a outlaw show with an immortal character in an alien world, and you have robots that are sentient, a giant, basically Cadillac that turns into a mech, and you have it's a fantastic voyage to try to find someone that it was lost to them.
A prince.
Sam. Yeah. I mean, it's basically
Is that a fair-
it's a Western cyberpunk anime. There you go.
Fair enough.
That sums it up.
Okay.
Is it Japanese animation or is it Americanized?
So it's made in Japan.
Okay.
Originally in Japanese, and they obviously did a dub at the same time as well. So you can watch it in either, as Old Ninja was alluding to.
Yeah. That's how I watched it. So it did not go the way. It was not what I was anticipating, for sure.
But it's
It was way
for me, it was in a good way. Like, it was not what I was expecting in a good way. Like, this show. So when you talk about like diversity, you know me. The word diversity fucking usually bothers me. But in this way, it's like it's the best sort of diversity. Like everything, there's so many different types of characters in this show that are like different. Not even just like different ethnicities, but like different races, the way they look, the way they interact with people. It's fucking amazing. Like I really like that aspect of like how everybody was like so different and like well thought out characters. They weren't just kind of like throwaway characters. Even the ones that were sort of throwaway, you feel like they had like a decent backstory to them. You know what I mean? And like where they go and like the different styles of like the different art styles that you see in there, like the different factions, how they look drastically different, was amazing. So like the fact that they were diverse in both like sort of like art direction and character direction were like, it was really neat, you know. And the main character basically being immortal was like pretty dope too, and like the way he deals with that, and Sam being like super naive, you know, about basically everything. I really liked it so far. I'm looking forward to finishing the series.
Yes. It for me, the Sam and Philly stuff just worked like like Ken and Ryu almost. It was a perfect fucking combination in terms of, yes, she is a naive robot, but she's OP as well. And Philly the Kid is OP in his own way with his immortality. And I love the fact that when he dies, the number of his death actually glows and becomes basically a permanent tattoo on his body.
Yeah.
And so they play with that theme over and over again. There's another robot named Casey on here that you learn more and more about her backstory. And there's a lot of fucking lore. I'm not giving anything away. The lore is actually way deeper. That's the biggest surprise to me. the lore caught me, and it seems like it's a bigger world than you initially are aware of.
Well, and like Bessie, like that's another thing with like lore. Like this car mech thing runs on fucking tokens.
Yeah,
So, like,
it's like a drivable arcade.
Yeah, it's like insane. So you have to start the car, you have to like put in tokens, and like make it go into mech mode, you have to put in 4 tokens. There's like a little controller that's there as well. Like it's pretty dope.
Yeah, one of my favorite things, though, is you can tell LaShawn Thomas loves a whole bunch of the same animes that we've grown up with and loved for years and years. You get Naruto references, you get Samurai Champloo, you get Cowboy Bebop, you get JoJo, you get Hunter x Hunter. There's reference, and they're really obvious. You'll get them all over this fucking anime, and when you see them, you're just like, oh, I see what you fucking did there, LaShawn. You know what I mean? It's a wink and a nod to the audience. That's fun.
That's cool.
The main character reminded me of the character from Desert Punk.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
He's very, very.
He's always trying to get ass?
The only thing difference is he's not about anime titties, but he is about fucking.
It's a mature anime.
Yeah.
But there's no actual anime titties exposed.
No.
There's just foul language and violence.
Yeah, there is some gore, I will say.
Yeah.
Not overt, but enough.
But dude, the other thing, I don't know how we fucking forgot this. The intro fucking slapped hard as shit.
Yeah, it was
that
weird.
intro is fucking fire. I've never been on an anime on Netflix where I did not skip a single time. Every episode, I was like, no, I'm listening to this again.
Yeah, it was crazy because like the intro song, the female singer,
the intro? We got to give them a shout out.
she sounds like Rihanna at one point. I was like, is this really Riri on this track, on this anime track? Because that would be extra fire.
There's only a few animes where I love watching the intro. I think Champion Shampoo. Fucking Samurai Shampoo.
Yeah, the intro and outro.
That one's those both are dope. Fucking Naruto. I like how they kept like the seasons would change and they would change as well. But what's the name? It's pretty good too. Demon
Ruby.
Slayer. They're
No, they do it too?
yeah, they have a pretty good intro.
Yeah, Ruby does the same thing. Every new season, the intro is different and the outro is different.
I want to say almost every
Yeah, I think every
anime
anime
does
does
that.
it.
Yeah.
Except for
Obviously-
Dragon Balls.
Yeah, I mean, JoJo does the
sake,
shit out of that in terms of, the intros and outros. But
Yeah, I do the same with Ruby. I'd listen to the complete intro.
when it's
but,
good,
like,
it sets it up. It puts you in the
Yeah.
mood to
But
watch another episode.
Candy Busters, like it starts out like a traditional like anime kind of fluffy type thing, and then it slaps with this R&B shit that you're like, what the fuck?
With a choir
This
in
is
the background.
super slappy. Like, let me
Yeah.
put this in my ride real quick.
Yeah.
Let me put this in my Bessie.
It's a song by Bradley Deniston and Kevin Beggs, performed by Marty Grimes and BJRNCK.
Okay.
Looks familiar.
They did the damn thing.
Oh, can I? Oh, this way.
The outro is somebody else, isn't it?
Yeah. The outro's a little different. That's
That's
it.
it, right?
Yeah. It just works.
All right,
And
I
then
gotta
it
do
kicks
it.
over right after this horn intro.
Yeah.
It slaps to this, like, almost like Destiny's Child type shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, what the fuck?
It fucking works.
Don't want to get flagged.
And there's also some really good fights. Not giving anything away, but this is in the intro. And this is the first time I've seen it in any anime. There's a woman who's a fighter, and they don't make a big deal out of it, but she's got vitiligo, the skin condition,
yeah.
and she's a great fucking character on there. They don't ever mention it's not a thing, but much like, remember on Dragon Prince when they had the deaf character,
Yeah.
and we were just like, oh, that's a great way of showing that.
That's the way you like do diversity correctly.
Yeah.
It's like you don't overtly point to it. Like, listen, this is a diverse whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like you make it and then make it the way you want it, and it has to be diverse. Then we all see it.
Yep.
But do it the other way around. It's like you're looking for something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This way, you just fucking do it, and he did it right.
Yeah.
So
All the way around. And it also seems like, at least from the online reception, unlike Enter the Anime, that Netflix bullshit-ass documentary, people seem to like this one. Like, the consensus is, well done, LaShawn, well done, Netflix.
I don't know what that shit has right now.
It's probably terrible. Can we move on from Cannon Busters?
Yeah.
We can't talk too much about it.
Wait, so Cannon Busters 12 episodes, so catch it out on Netflix.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, they're 22 to 23-minute episodes.
All right, so finally the embargo for the show that I want to talk about last week ended. So
On the Amazon.
You sure you double checked that contract?
yes, I double checked. It was on the 15th. All right. Amazon
Like
Prime,
breaking through the wall.
Don't fire me. But yeah, so Carnival Row. I've watched the first, I think, 3 or 4 episodes now, and it drops on August 30th.
Okay.
And so far, I really like it. It is not what the fuck I expected for the show. I was thinking just some like fantasy, sort of like Lord of the Rings type shit.
Well, what is it?
So it's basically a show that it actually goes super. This is why I like the show because it goes super deep into racism. And I was just like not expecting that because it's like a show with like the two main characters. They're Caucasian, but one of the main characters is like a fairy.
But is this British fantasy?
It's British fantasy. Yeah, it's based in like kind of like a steampunk era fantasy, like Victorian era type deal. But it goes deep into racism because like in this world, fairies or the fae are like shit on like the whole time. They're like they thought of like the scourge of the earth. They usually like if they live in like human societies, they're like hookers and like servants and shit like that.
Are they regular human size?
They're regular human size, but they're much lighter than humans because they have hollow bones and they have like obviously the fairy wings.
Yeah.
And it's just like the humans in the show are just such fucking assholes. And like watching a show where like fairies are like the ones that are shit on, it's like it's usually like orcs or some shit like that, or you know. Yeah. But to see it as like fairies, I was like, this is a really interesting take on, you know, on like racism, and they go deep into like classism and shit like that.
Nice.
There's like other species in the show as well that some of the humans try to shit on, but they have money, but the fairies don't. So, and there's plenty of fucking fairy fucking in the show. Ooh. It's gory, like I'm talking. When I say gory, there's like intestines and hearts and shit.
Are fairies male and female?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's kind of like the reverse of that movie with Will Smith,
Brightburn. Yeah. It's way different from that. This was like more serious. It's a little more dry, but it's really good. It's with Orlando Bloom and what's the girl's name? I can never pronounce this chick's name. The girl that played the Enchantress.
Cara Delevingne.
Hot chick.
With the eyebrows.
Delvane.
Yeah. She's those two are the main characters
from Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and they have like a really complex history together. So for me right now, it's a watch. I'm not going to give my total review of it because obviously now you have to be kind of fucked up. But so far with the episodes that I've seen, I think 3 or 4 episodes. It's been like really good episodes. So
3 or 4 out of like probably 12.
I think it's 10 or 8. If I remember correctly. I have to go and look.
Okay. August 30th.
But so far I've been like watching them and like really enjoying it. Like I was watching it with my oldest daughter, and she wanted to watch it. You know, because
so it's not too graphic.
It is. It's graphic. Okay. But I mean, she's 16 now, and then when they're 16, she leaves the room, comes back. So because there's like this is what's cool about it. When apparently when what the fuck happened here? Apparently when fairies bust nuts, they fly in the air.
Oh.
So yeah, when the females bust nuts, they like pick up the partner and just like float in the air and bust a fairy nut.
Good shit.
Isn't that what everybody does? That's what I have.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, but yeah.
Especially when you're fucking high. Oh god damn.
That is the best. Yeah.
Fucking balls.
Y'all passing notes? What's going on?
No.
You needed
I
the
didn't have
sheet.
a paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just making sure.
Wait, can we talk about something that got overshadowed by the Spidey news yesterday? Because it's also kind of big news.
What?
Going back to movie stuff. There's a Matrix sequel coming.
Holy
Matrix
shit.
4 got announced the same day as this whole Spider controversy, which everyone flipped out. Everyone
buried.
like glossed over with Carrie Ann Moss and Keanu
Hogard
Reeves
coming
back.
Okay, hold the fuck on. So it should have been overshadowed for 2 reasons. First of all, Trinity's fucking dead. Second of all, the Wachowskis, since the Matrix, have a fucking terrible track record with making movies. Nobody can overlook this shit.
What are their movies?
Fucking Cloud Atlas.
Yeah,
terrible.
Cloud Atlas was weird.
Holy shit, I hated that movie so bad.
What was it?
too.
Juniper? Not Juniper.
Oh,
Jupiter Ascending?
Jupiter Ascending.
Terrible.
With Mila Kunis and what's his name?
Timberlake?
Yeah,
No,
it was a guy I don't
Channing
fucking like.
Tatum.
Yeah. And they made a show that wasn't that bad on Netflix. I forget what the fuck it was called.
Was that Sense8? Is that them?
Sense8. That wasn't that bad. But their movies they made have been fucking awful since The Matrix. And if anyone wants to argue that, you can't. They're fucking terrible. Go back and watch Cloud Atlas and tell me if it makes any kind of fucking sense.
Yeah,
Well-
I remember that one bombing.
It was
I remember that one
awful.
bombing
Well,
hard.
the
I
other
never
problem
saw it.
is that not just Trinity died, but fucking Neo died too at the end. At least that's what you presume,
That's
because they
what's
carry
perceived.
his body is taken away and shit like that. So
And let's be honest, The Matrix 1 was good, but the other ones, they weren't that great. Especially the third.
Third one was like
Everybody
weird.
hated the third.
I love the third. I just like the fight scene because it looks like something from fucking like Dragon Balls.
Yeah, that's
Well, go back and watch it now, though. The
Yeah.
animation is really bad.
Yeah, I have, and it's
The first one blew everybody's mind. I didn't despise the second one, but it was nowhere near the same caliber of quality.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, because the first one was like breaking fucking
Groundbreaking.
Is this
Yeah.
both the Wachowski sisters? Now?
Only
No, I
one
think it's Lana.
Wachowski sister.
No,
is
they're.
on board.
I was gonna say they're both.
So
girls now.
they go
They're
by
both.
Lana and Lily now, and so Lana will write and direct while Lily is not nowhere near this.
Everybody's skeptical. I'm on board with the skepticism. The Matrix was a long time ago, and it was great, but man,
I mean, there's a lot of films that get sequels later on, like fucking Rocky.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I forgot totally about Speed Racer. So
Oh, yeah,
it's another one that wasn't great. So after the Matrix, okay, they did Speed Racer, Cloud Atlas, and Jupiter Ascending. Those were all not great movies.
all bombed.
And the ones they wrote for was V for Vendetta, which wasn't that bad. The Invasion, which is rewrites.
The V was pretty good. I'll give props.
But that was just a writer, not a director. Ninja Assassin, that was a producer.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's about it.
Well, look at the scores on their movies
Yeah, the
too.
scores are awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this: there was a long gap between Mad Max movies, and that knocked it out of the park.
Oh, that's true too.
Well, they-
Technically
It also
a
wasn't
sequel.
directed by the same person, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Totally
the-
different reboot.
They had like a different like they just went with the basis for the Mad Max movie. It was like action, explosion.
and fucking battle music.
Yeah, and fucking
Stitch, were
battle
you
music.
into the fucking Matrix back in the day? You looking forward to
I
this?
watched it like after it sort of chilled out and people were going hype over it. I enjoy it. I wouldn't say I'm like a fanboy where I'll end up watching the movie, but I didn't get all in depth into it and everything, and not like Old Ninja probably does what they or whatever. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movies for what they were. I'll be interested to see if Keanu is going to star.
That's what I'm
Yes,
hearing.
he's in it.
He's gonna be the star. Or is he gonna
Keanu
be-
Reeves is back as well as Carrie-Anne Moss. Jeff Darrow.
Hogarth, say her name right.
Oh, Hogarth. thick Hogarth
Uh-huh.
is back.
She definitely does look better thicker. Even
Yeah.
though she looked great in the Matrix, but she
Hell
looks
yeah.
better thicker. Just like Isker Lawrence. Just saying.
Bad one.
Yes.
No word about Morpheus though.
No word, but according to Jeff Darrow, who is the conceptual designer on the film, he says most of the original cast is back.
I'll believe it when I see it. I feel the same way about this one as I feel about like the Terminator. Isn't that dropping later this year?
Oh, hold
Another
on.
one, yeah.
So the original director of Mad Max is the director of Mad Max Fury Road,
Oh wow, really?
which was George Miller. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
He directed the Mad Max and Mad Max the Road Warrior and Fury Road.
Good shit. I mean,
What's
he
his
came
name is
back.
lining up to be the main villain in John Wick 4, right?
Who?
Neo?
Morpheus.
Oh shit, really?
Oh, I
Isn't
don't
he
know.
Fishburne?
I don't think he's a villain. He's probably helping him out.
The hell was that?
It's not my phone. It's in my fucking hand.
God damn it. It was my
I
bad, my
thought it
bad,
was-
my
That
bad.
ain't me.
I thought it was a foghorn walking by. What the? Because I touched the mic and I was like, what the hell?
So did you watch John Wick 4?
I didn't see John Wick 3 even.
Oh,
I still
okay.
need to
Wait,
see
what?
it. I know. I know.
Because
I
I thought at the end of John Wick 4 he was shaping up to be because he didn't get killed. He just got his face cut up, right?
Well, holy shit.
Yeah, he did kind of have that sense that he was gonna be the next.
yeah,
villain.
and he's
That's
supposed
what I thought.
Yeah, so okay.
But he wasn't. It wasn't Neo's fault that he got his face slashed up. It was because he did help him
No,
because he got slashed up for every bullet that he gave him.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what their filming timeline is or what their schedule or anything like that. I don't know what Fishburne's availability is, but it seems
busy.
like he's going to be, I guess, maybe the main villain or one of the key actors. Where in the first couple ones he would just appear for his scene or two, but it seems like he's gonna be a main character in the next John Wick.
God, John Wick
Holy
was
shit. This guy, the guy who directed Mad Max, he directed every single Mad Max. One solo director.
All right.
Holy shit.
Stitch, were you the one that saw this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh, I did as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because this movie's gotten some real controversy. What did y'all
Okay,
think of
well-
this shit?
I went in. Okay, I just happened to it was maybe like a Tuesday or something like that, and just seeing on Twitter, it was like, oh yeah, the new Quentin Tarantino movie, and I totally just was oblivious to it and everything. I think I'd heard a new one was coming out, but I was like, you know what? I'm here for Quentin Tarantino.
Sure.
I love his movies. I'm gonna go watch it today. Didn't do any research. Didn't know anything about what it was about at all. Went in completely oblivious to the tie to the Manson murders and everything. So I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
What movie?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I had no idea what was going on, and I would say I didn't know what was going on through the majority of the fucking movie.
Wow.
Except it was just Brad Pitt being Brad Pitt, Leo being. I mean, they were both amazing because they're really good
That
actors.
doesn't sound good though.
But it takes a twist. I had to go back and research to find out what the fuck was going on.
I don't like shit like that. Yeah.
Well, I had no idea that this was based on the Manson murders. I just thought it was like
Is
some.
that the main plot of the movie?
It ties into it.
Yeah,
What's her
it's
name's character?
Margot
Harley.
Robbie.
Margot
She's
Robbie.
Sharon Tate.
Harley Quinn.
She's Sharon Tate and everything.
Okay.
Which and I obviously wasn't gonna go. I'm like Sharon Tate. I was like, I know that name from some historical thing, but I could not place it while I'm watching the movie. And with all Tarantino movies, you're paying so much attention to the dialogue, you can't really like focus on other shit or whatever. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll figure it out later. And then the last 30 minutes, when it goes into Tarantino mode, where shit starts twisting around, there's some violence going on and shit like that. It was fucking great. Now, people got all butthurt and pissed off on the Bruce Lee thing. That part was fucking hilarious.
Okay.
I love that shit. That was fucking great. Because I was like, this is supposed to be Bruce Lee? And I was like, yeah, I think it is. Because I was like, it looks like Bruce Lee, but it's kind of not really acted like how I think Bruce Lee is. But him and Brad Pitt's fucking amazing actor. I mean, he's fucking elite star. He knows what he's doing. I can watch him just read out the fucking phone book. Same thing with Leonardo DiCaprio. And it was great. That whole scene, people kind of know what happens in it.
Sure.
But it was fucking great. But I guess Lee's family was butthurt because it didn't portray him as the nicest person. It portrayed him as kind of being like an arrogant karate dick or whatever. He's like, I don't know if you guys seen the thing, but he's sort of bragging about how, oh yeah, my hands are classified as legal weapons, so if I punch somebody hard enough, I can get charged with a crime or whatever, get charged with murder,
if I
because
murder
these
somebody.
are classified as legal weapons. And Brad Pitt's just like, you idiot, anyone in America can get charged with manslaughter for punching another person in the face, moron. So it was just funny watching him just like shit on Bruce Lee when he's got like all these people around him like fucking wooing and on or whatever, and then they have a little fight scene which is great.
Somebody asked me that like recently actually, because I do a lot of jiu-jitsu, and they're like, do you have to register yourself as like a deadly weapon? And I was just like, no. Like, that's so ridiculous. That's like the dumbest fucking thing ever.
It's a movie thing.
Yeah, it's a stupid ass thing. No, you don't.
Yeah, but it is funny. And the last Tarantino part is great. But it plays a twist. I mean, he knows probably more about the historical aspect of it than I do.
Yeah, this
movie
movie
lived through this time period. I don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck we talking about.
Yeah,
Come
this
on.
movie is basically an ode to filmmaking back in the late 60s, early 70s. If you don't know anything about that, you'll probably be lost. I mean, this is literally like the way movies were back. The movie is about making a movie in the 60s as it follows an actor who is basically about to wash out and he's trying to save his career.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Which
pretty much the
is
whole
Leo.
film. And then they end up inadvertently crossing paths with the Manson family. And if you don't know who they are, you would never get it watching the film. Like Charlie Manson, he's in the film, but no one refers to him directly as, hey, you're Charlie Manson type deal.
Oh.
He literally just shows up and you kind of know who he is. He introduces himself as Charlie, but then you never see him again.
Yeah.
The Manson family, if you knew about the history of them, you knew that they're all kinds of fucking weird. And you know if something's weird in the film, you probably just don't know that there's
So
a
you
Manson
don't, it
family.
doesn't sound like you see the murders.
No, you.
Okay.
No, when the murders are about to happen,
It takes a Tarantino timeline twist.
yeah,
Just like in
Inglourious
Inglourious
Bastards.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a
God, I
twist to
fucking
the
hated that
end
movie.
where it's different. I love Inglourious Bastards.
You
That's
like
an amazing
Inglourious
film.
Yeah, it was horrible to me.
Oh, that movie
I
was
liked
fucking
it.
great.
I like
It's
it.
fucking
When it
great
comes-
That was
film.
killing Nazis.
Yeah, they were.
I don't like that style of war piece movies.
You don't like killing Nazis?
Yeah, I mean,
No,
it's-
it
you
was just
un-American
a
bastard.
horrible movie to me. I just didn't. I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't know. I just don't like it.
I
There
love
was a
that
lot
film.
of dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, the same with this has probably even more dialogue than
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I mean, it is interesting watching how they did films in there. There's also this weird part in the film where Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate is watching a film starring the actual Sharon Tate on the screen on a fucking movie screen. which is weird.
For the youngsters and myself, remind me again about Sharon Tate.
So Sharon Tate was an actress who was killed by the Manson family
That's right, okay.
while she was pregnant, and they pulled out the unborn fetus from her body and left both of them on the floor.
What the fuck?
So there's a lot of old school like characters or like old school actors in the film that are portrayed by current actors like Roman Polanski.
That was another name. I'm like, I know that name from somewhere.
He's in the film. Bruce Lee, obviously. There's also, I think, Steve McQueen.
Okay.
Where they have an actor who looks. He has the jacket. They have the Mustang. He looks a lot like him. He doesn't really sound like him. He does his best impression. But if you don't know who he is,
Roman Polanski is the guy. Yeah, that's
he fled to France.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I know that sound familiar.
there's characters in the film.
That's why all these names are being dropped. I'm like, I can't put my finger on it or whatever because I didn't go. But it's like Old Ninja said.
Hold on, but let me just rewind for a second. Roman Polanski, he fled the U.S. for raping somebody.
For having sex with
Underage.
a 14-year-old girl.
What should be raping somebody?
They talk about it.
They talk about that a little bit.
And he's still making fucking movies.
Yeah, in France.
Yeah.
I don't think
they didn't extradite him.
Are they released over here?
So the only one that's released over here that he's in is Rush Hour 3.
That he was in, but I mean, he still made movies that played here, like The Pianist. That was in 2002.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
right. Yeah.
And
Okay.
That was up for like awards, right?
Yeah, that won like Best Picture, I believe.
That's how you know Hollywood doesn't give a shit. They don't give a fuck. 'Cause a lot of it's full of a lot of fucking pedophiles and shit like that. And
As
Well, like they still
Disgusting
released
motherfucker.
that
as
one.
Jeffrey Epstein.
There's that one movie with what's the the actor from American Beauty, the Kevin.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, because he had a movie, the Billionaire Boys or something like that. Got
Oh,
released.
yeah,
I mean, it got like $5 or some shit. But Hollywood's still fucking releasing it in theaters.
So
Well, yeah, but I mean, the studio needs to recoup their money because it was already in the can.
So as the Old Ninja said, Leo is the actor that's becoming sort of washed out.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt is his stuntman, stuntman best friend. He sort of lives with Leo. Leo kind of hires him as his like handyman around the house and everything. And
so he fucks his wife or what?
No, I mean he does marry.
They
a
happen
badass
to
Italian
live
wife.
next door to Sharon Tate and everything. So that's how they intertwine at the very, very end and stuff. And Roman Polanski lives next door as well.
Oh,
'cause
he
Polanski is fucking.
he's
Sharon
married
Tate.
to Sharon Tate, but then there's a time lapse where they break up or whatnot because they leave the country.
Oh, is that when he fucks a kid?
They don't show that shit. They just show that Roman's gone.
Because it's Hollywood.
Damn. So it sounds like you kind of both like this.
How the fuck do you leave that part of the movie though? Hold on, I just gotta rewind.
I just
That's
said
pretty fucked up.
because it focuses on Leonardo DiCaprio's character, not on Roman and Sharon.
Well,
There's a
still,
part
if
where
you're gonna have that guy in the film,
he's their neighbor, so he's not like super. There's a part where
He should've
Leo's character leaves to Italy,
he should have
so
let
they
that shit
focus
out.
on there.
He should have either let that shit out or addressed it.
He was just like, the only really time they kind of interact is like Leo's like, yeah, I live next door to this huge director, but I'm not really.
Oh, I
gonna
can't
fucking
be
talk
on
to
his
him.
film.
Yeah, or whatever. He just knows his stardom level, but they don't really divulge into like his
Whole life.
backstory or whatever. He just, I'm a B-list actor trying to get my career, whatever. I live next day.
Depending on the time period, because I know he's been in Europe for several decades, so some of this may have taken place
before?
even
Okay.
before.
This does take place before because he's married to Sharon Tate in the film. When you first see him, when the main character, which is Leo's character, leaves the country, you don't see what's going on in Hollywood while he's gone.
Still though, if I could not have a pedophile into my film, I would have like not done that. That's me personally.
Yeah. Well,
Just
look,
saying.
I mean, the other one that nobody likes to mention anymore is Woody Allen. You talk about.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
puts out films. I want to say
Once
or two
a year, he pulls a film every
Yeah.
year.
And
He married his daughter.
Adopted daughter.
Still, it's his daughter.
That's.
That'd be like, I would adopt a daughter. She's my fucking daughter.
Jeez.
So
Of
for-
course.
For somebody to say, oh, just his adopted daughter, you raised that kid as a child.
Of course.
You know what I mean? You're her father, and that's disgusting.
It's the most disturbing thing, and for whatever reason, he hasn't been exiled from the filmmaking
Yeah, because
community.
she even came out and said like he would do stuff to her when she was underage.
Oh,
Like I know they. Like, was it a book or something
fucking
she
damn.
wrote or something?
I mean, we
No
all
idea.
assumed it.
Maybe Mia Farrow might have said something. I don't know if she did that. No idea.
Plus, his movies ain't making no Spider-Man money anyway.
Well, because they're all shitty movies.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part.
But he
Actually,
has big stars in them, though.
he does.
I
And
remember ScarJo was in one of them.
She's in Match Point, which is actually a very good film because it was nominated.
You support
for,
these movies too, goddammit?
Hey, a good film's a good film.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I mean,
it's terrible.
There's also Elvis Presley was
You going to R. Kelly concerts too, old ninja?
that was you, not me. You the one who likes pissing on folks.
Did we talk about the Kevin Spacey thing ever? Or no.
Yeah, we
No.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, his
Well, not the latest.
recent shit.
Not
Oh,
yet.
no.
The
latest.
okay.
What's the latest?
What, the charges were dropped or something?
I
Yeah,
thought
his
charges
were
got
dropped.
Charges got dropped. Case dismissed.
So, how are we supposed to feel?
Yeah. I'm confused now.
I'm confused.
Well, it sounds like his accuser dropped the
Yeah,
charges.
his
Well, yeah,
accuser
'cause-
dropped
so
the charges.
apparently
Well,
his
they got
accuser.
paid.
Well, no, they saying his accuser didn't have the evidence to back up all the statements that he was claiming anymore.
Don't.
I think that's what the case.
I just know case dropped. Accuser backed out. Charges dropped. Case dismissed. Kevin
I mean-
Spacey out there swinging dick now.
He was always swinging dick. But,
Apparently now he's back to it again.
but I mean,
Did
a
it-
lot has
did it-
happened.
Did the victim recant?
Don't
It
know.
sounds like yes. I mean, we can
so
fact
one
check.
of the victims was the guy on Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. He was also in what's the old movie? The 70s movie that everybody liked to watch when we were in high school.
Oh, Fast Times at Ridgemont? No,
the other
Dazed
one.
and Confused.
There we go. Dazed and Confused. He was in
Okay.
Dazed and Confused as well.
Yeah.
I think he was also in. Was he also in Transformers? Didn't he
Why
play
don't we
the
put his
Russian?
name- Who is the guy? Look him up so we're all on the same page. I literally don't know how to feel. I used to enjoy Kevin Spacey movies.
Yes. But you are also on record on if they're innocent, they're innocent. According to the court, you are all about false accusations, and
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. I am against false accusations, absolutely.
And he
I've
also-
never said on this specific case that it was false accusations.
It was
Did I?
Anthony Rapp is his name.
Okay. I don't recall
And
ever
also-
saying that.
And also, didn't he basically say he did it? I mean, he didn't say he didn't do it.
Oh, so he.
I don't know. That's
So
where I'm
at the
getting-
time, Anthony
Yeah.
Rapp was a teenager. Kevin Spacey hit on him. There was no
No, wasn't it?
groping or
No,
whatever.
no.
He was at a
Some
party.
shit.
No, he was
And
at a
he wasn't
party.
gonna
He
and-
was at a party, but he hit on him when he was drunk.
No, apparently he took him up to his room, was like grinding on him.
now I understand
That was, I think, that was the
Kronos'
accuser.
logic about if you say you did something, you did it. However, you have loopholes in that logic, like Swiss cheese,
like Cardi B.
like Cardi B, when she
So-
said she did something, but you said don't matter because people be lying
hold on.
anyways.
Let's be clear. Did he confess?
Kevin
Kevin
Spacey,
Spacey?
yeah,
If
he
Kevin.
confessed,
So when
then he
Kevin
would be-
Spacey, he confessed to hitting on an underage boy, and then he came out as gay at that time because nobody knew, and
Yeah,
then
hold on. The crime isn't the well. I mean, yes, you shouldn't be hitting on. I totally get that, but I thought the more serious crime was possible rape. That's what we're talking about here, right? He
Yeah,
confessed to
that's
rape.
what I'm trying to
no,
find-
he did not
He
confess
made
to
a
rape.
sexual advance on Anthony Rapp when he was 14 years old.
Okay, yeah, obviously not okay.
And so then
not okay.
Not
what-
okay.
So then
It's not
what
a good look.
he eventually Rap took it back. Then is that what's going?
That's
No,
what it
no, no,
sounds
no, no.
like so.
This is different accuser.
Oh,
Someone else from a different
Yeah, it's a
state.
different accuser.
oh
different
shit.
accuser.
Okay, I didn't know there was more than one.
Yes,
Jesus
there's more
Christ.
than one.
I'm sorry. Okay, but one of them took something back.
Because I thought there was something
Yes.
like a criminal case.
Yes, and
pending
that
on
was
this.
from someone else. It
Okay.
wasn't from Anthony Rapp.
Jesus Christ, that's yeah, it's not a good look. And again, I'm not defending Kevin
Well,
Spacey, and I never have.
So this is what I remember. All right, this is what Kevin Spacey said. But if I did behave in the way he describes, talking about Anthony Rapp and him sexually coming on to him, I owe him a sincerest apology for what would have been a deeply inappropriate drunken behavior. That is not saying I didn't do it. So that's when I read that, I was like, he didn't say I didn't do it. He said, oh, I could have been drunk. Could have happened. If I did do it, I'm sorry.
Sounds like a Hollywood Coke.
Yeah, and it's not
Ranger,
quite a hey, I fucked up, I'm wrong, I did this either.
Yeah, and then he said, this story encouraged me to address other things about my life. I know
Okay.
that there are other stories out there about me that have fueled by the fact that I've been so publicly protective of my privacy. I choose not to live as a gay man. So yeah, this is why I'm fairly certain that he did. Like 99% sure that he did do it. So because right after that he came out as gay and he didn't really deny it. He said, "Oh, well, if I did do it, I was probably drunk." It's just like, dude, what the fuck?
But is this one still potentially going to trial?
No, this
No,
was
no,
not.
never
This
did.
totally not this
Okay.
one.
This other one that went to trial, they won't name the accuser, and they're saying like the defense wanted the guy's iPhone and he wouldn't turn it over because a lot of the stuff that he said was deleted.
And he pled the fifth.
It doesn't matter if you fucking give him the
And
fucking
and
iPhone.
at the time,
That
I
doesn't-
guess at the time he was 18, but this guy alleged that he was sexually assaulted while under the influence.
This isn't a good look. It sounds very much like he more than likely did this shit.
But
to
then
one or both.
But then this guy,
that clear enough for
this
you?
guy recanted,
I'm just
and the case got dropped. This guy recanted, case dropped.
Yeah.
I don't think he recanted though. How did he recant?
He doesn't have, like Blue said, not enough evidence.
That's
There's
not-
That's
stuff-
not a recant.
But no,
That's
no,
something
he-
when you
then
like
he-
say it didn't
yeah.
happen.
He won't
goes on.
share his cell phone. He pleads the fifth, and then he said that he won't give the court his cell phone as proof because he said that he had text information between him and Spacey about what happened,
That's shady
and he
enough.
Yeah, that
won't
is shady, but it's not recanting.
he won't release it.
Can't the court force you to give up
They
something?
can, but if they
The
can't
court
get
criminal
if they,
evidence?
Not if you're the accuser. No.
Correct.
Ah.
Right.
That's like
Okay.
with
You can use it
homeboy
to-
from
you can use
Chicago.
it to collaborate your claims and everything. And even if you're just like, no, I don't want to give you my phone or something like that, if he were the suspect,
Okay.
they could go and get the phone records because
Well,
everything's fucking
text
kept.
messages work two ways. So it sounds like if there were text messages or pictures being
So-
exchanged,
But
it
he would need a
So,
warrant to
yeah,
get it
you're
off.
You're under a false assumption. In America, you're guilty until proven innocent. So if somebody says that I
Then
have proof
what?
that somebody raped me or did something wrong to me, you have to prove it.
I mean, you said it backwards.
I'm
See-
sorry. I'm black.
no, I
is
hear you.
coming out.
I'm just.
Guilty.
It sounds like there's probable suspicion of some sort that maybe.
Well, no, you have to produce evidence. If I accuse you of a crime, I have to produce evidence.
Yes.
I have to.
If you accuse it, yeah, I would speak with him to find out what it was that you're claimed or whatever. Speak with you about it. Can you collaborate what it is that happened? And you're
And he
just
backed
like,
out.
and if you're just like, no, I don't want whatever, then I
So
can't.
the whole thing gets dropped.
I
Yeah.
can't proceed with an investigation if he doesn't want me to because the crime
things get
he's the
dropped.
one
Okay.
that's claiming the crime was committed.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
So,
It still sounds like there's more than one one of these same things
well,
going on.
there's three sides to every story, right?
Yeah, no, but
So-
it sounds like there's more than one incident with the similar set of circumstances
yeah.
with him,
Yeah.
underage boy, some kind of impropriety.
It's
well,
Hollywood.
this case,
It's Hollywood.
apparently he was 18.
Yeah, this person was of
but the
age.
fact that he
Well, if
may
it's-
have
He
got
said
him
no.
drunk and took advantage of him,
Yeah, that's
that's
still wrong.
different.
Yeah, man. It don't sound good. It don't sound good
I
at
think
all.
I'll watch another 2 episodes of House of Cards and maybe decide.
I had to. Me and Kim were watching it. Once we heard that happen, we literally stopped watching.
Oh,
It
yeah,
sucks
that's
as a
that.
case.
Yeah.
The,
They actually suspended the show for a while.
oh
Right?
no, they
They
cut him
him out.
out.
They
Yeah,
killed
cut
him.
out. So see, if I was at the point to where they killed him, I'd have kept watching the show. But he's still in the show, like where we're at. So I'm just like,
okay.
Yeah,
I can't watch it.
he's on him till the very last season.
Yeah. They did.
He-
I mean,
so there's what 6 seasons? He's on 5 seasons.
yeah. Literally, they just wrote him out. They're like, yeah, new
Damn.
season. Oh, by the way, her husband was assassinated. He's the fucking president of the United States. You just give it a sentence. Yeah, he got murdered.
And then a wife take over.
And the wife's
She
now the
does.
president.
That's not how it works.
You gotta
but-
explain some
Yeah.
shit.
But he was the lead on that show for
He
5
was
years.
Oh
the-
yeah.
And
He was
we've
lead
talked
and
about it because
executive
she
producer.
Wanted, yeah, and she wanted, because we had that discussion about how she wanted equal pay. And
got it.
we were all just like, he's the fucking star.
Yeah.
This is his fucking show. He's the producer or whatever. Fuck your equal pay shit. And so they
She's
took,
still getting equal pay.
No, I thought she did.
No,
She ain't getting Kevin Spacey money.
fuck
Well,
outta
not
here.
for that last season.
No,
No.
I
mean,
think
last season he wasn't
I
getting
think the
checks,
studio gave her equal pay.
No,
Oh,
they shouldn't have.
look that up.
Even though he
I remember her
fucked
name.
up, he's not even just fucked up. Even though he's probably definitely a fucking rapist, he still has like his body of work still affords him to get paid way more money than her.
Oh,
Who is she again?
She was from
Oh,
goddamn.
she's,
She was Buttercup in fucking
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. That's her best
Oh,
known
wow.
role.
She's
Yeah.
also.
I mean, come on.
She's also in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but
she's
she's as a minor role. So get the fuck out of here.
Wait a minute, what's her naame? Mom in Wonder Woman?
No, she's
the
the
auntie.
she's
the battle-
She's the aunt. Yeah,
Oh, the
she's the
aunt.
battle
Okay.
teacher.
But you
Okay.
can't demand equal pay when you don't have equal amount of experience.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. We
Like
agree.
what the fuck?
She has definitely equal amount of experience. She's
No,
an actor.
whoa.
Kevin Spacey.
How are you gonna say that she hasn't been around in
Stop,
Hollywood?
stop,
She's
stop.
just not the star.
Do we have to
Stop.
do this again?
The star would be the experience, bro.
Do we have to do this again? So here we go again.
He's a
old
star.
Ninja. Old Ninja.
Yeah.
There's a lead actor.
Yes, that's what I
Who's
said.
the
But
star,
hold on.
top
You said
billing.
that she didn't have the experience.
She doesn't.
It's not equal, dude. It's not equal.
Pull up her films that she's been in.
You're
Pull them
working.
up.
You're.
Lead.
I see what old
I'll
Ninja's
pull them
trying to
up.
do.
He's
I
trying
see
to
what
do-
old Ninja's
he's
trying to
doing the
do.
laundry list since the 80s that she's been in.
Yeah.
Minor roles.
Experience doesn't
versus-
equal quality or whatever. Maybe she's been in fucking 40 movies and Kevin Spacey's been in 40
know.
movies. We can't
As
name
the
40
lead?
fucking movies.
Exactly.
Exactly. She has not fucking led her own movies, her own projects. She
Kevin
is, she don't have a
Spacey-
star in the Walk of Hall of, or the fucking.
Kevin
Walk
Spacey
of Fame.
is a household name.
He's a star.
Period.
Robin
He's-
Wright?
He's better than
been
She
Idris.
ain't no fucking household name. What the fuck are you talking about?
I do not know who Robin Wright.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Stop.
The world don't know, bro.
Okay.
She can literally,
Pull up
she
the
can be in
hold on.
Starbucks.
Let him pull up the movies and whatever show she's been in, and we can compare notes right
Oh
now.
my God.
We'll compare 'em right now.
Really got,
Spacey's a bigger star than Idris.
even
after the rape.
He is.
Facts.
He is.
That's facts.
And it's funny to say because now he's a rapist, but
Yeah.
he brought in money, like
Yeah.
a lot of fucking money.
He's fucking good.
Oh shit. She was Jenny in Forrest Gump.
He was the
Jesus.
villain in fucking Seven.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he's barely in that.
So,
as well.
so
What do you mean he's the?
When do you see John? When do you see John Doe? Very,
Are you
very
trolling old
infrequently.
Ninja?
That's
Because
the
this is a
most
shitty
goddamn
job, man.
fucking.
So they're saying so CNN Business in 2017 reported that Kevin Spacey was reportedly being paid $500,000 an episode back in 2014. In 2015, that Wright made an estimate $5.5 million for House of Cards, which comes to approximately $420,000 an episode. So she's a little bit
Still
lower
less,
than
right
him,
there.
but
Still
she's
less.
So what you bitching for?
And
well. No,
he's
this is after the fact. After she wanted more money,
Still less.
but
But
it's still less. But it's like
But it should have been.
it's
Listen,
equal field.
nobody was watching House of Cards for her performance.
What
when
if
it first
she-
came out? They weren't.
Well,
she
she
was,
came
she was
out-
a good character. Don't get me wrong.
literally, the show could have basically been called, and I haven't seen a single episode, it could have been called the Kevin Spacey Political Show.
Well,
Yeah.
she's good in the show. She
Yeah,
is.
she is.
She's not the main character.
She's a
the
good
main,
actress.
Yes, she's very good in the show. They are a power fucking couple.
So I'm still waiting on Old Ninja to bring up her fucking backlog.
Oh, okay. I was waiting. Y'all kept going.
Here we
it up.
go. Here we
you
go.
tried to fade in the shadows. I seen what you did.
I was right here. I'm sitting right fucking here. Right here.
This ain't
All
your
right.
year, old Ninja.
Oh no! Don't even try to do that. I didn't do no
mad?
hot takes like you did.
mad?
I didn't lose any of those bets
Hoes
that you
mad.
did.
Keep
I didn't.
researching.
I don't backpedal
Do-
like
do-
you
do
do.
your
Keep
shit.
researching.
Do
Keep
your shit.
researching.
So she was in the. We'll start most recent, I guess.
Go
Don't
back,
lead
go-
'em off.
Go
we
to the
go back.
oldest. Go to her
Well,
oldest hit.
oldest hit was Princess Bride.
Okay, when was that?
That was.
Somewhere like 1987, I think, right?
Somewhere in the 80s.
Somewhere in the 80s.
Come on, it should say there right there. The fucking
Oh,
date.
87. No, because there's more after that. Because she's in
87,
TV shows and shit.
All right.
And so was he. In
Yeah.
a lot. Okay, I'll end the argument.
Yeah,
He's been in-
please.
he's
Drop
been
the
in-
bomb.
Sure.
He's
Drop the
been in
bomb.
53 feature films, 17 television series. He's been in 13 different theater productions and 2 fucking video games.
Okay.
Doesn't he?
Can-
Wasn't he
she
up
could
for?
not-
He's been up for an Oscar
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's
for
won
what's
multiple
it called? The
awards.
one with the rose petals and shit.
Usual Suspects or
No,
something?
the
Yeah, he did win an
with the
Oscar
Beautiful
for Usual.
American Beauty.
American Beauty.
He
yes,
won an
it was.
Oscar for Usual Suspects as well.
So he's a 2-time Oscar winner, goddammit?
He,
Is that what we're saying here? That you're
yeah,
comparing?
He's elite. Elite.
So what has she been in?
Robin Wright?
Yeah, I mean, like, wasn't 53 fucking films, right?
How many Oscars?
Definitely was not.
How many Oscars?
you killing podcast time with this,
Yeah,
this
man.
loss.
Look. Just let it go.
Yeah.
He's on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah,
Is
that's what I
she?
said.
Fuck no, she's not.
Huh.
And listen, this is with all due respect. She is a good actress.
Sure.
Like, legit good. But does not have the same backlog
Yeah.
of experience as Kevin fucking
Not on
Spacey.
his level. He's an elite. He's in that top tier.
He's a rapist elite, but
Oh, God dang.
I just want to put it in. I don't want to seem like we're singing his fucking praises
No.
because he's definitely a piece of shit
Yeah.
for probably raping a bunch of people. So.
Yeah. I've said all the time. I was like, he was my president, and then I had to fucking recant.
Yeah, you were hyping him up for years.
Yeah, I
Don't
was.
forget that.
I took
Forget
that
that.
loss, and it sucked.
All right, goddammit. There is an open.
Oh Jesus!
What?
Look up his awards too. It's
Oh yeah, look,
Yeah,
has he
there's
got an
no-
EGOT or something almost?
The
Damn.
SAG Awards, all everything.
Academy Award, Best Actor, BAFTA, fucking Best Actor, Supporting Actor,
Their best child molester.
SAG Awards. Get the fuck out of here. Best
Yeah,
Villain.
she's got SAG Awards. She has Golden
stop.
Globes.
Is it all this
Stop.
on the screen
You
right
can't
now?
even. He's got to
looking at their
scroll to
screen.
get through him.
I'm scrolling. Look, I'm scrolling through this. Look at this.
Old Ninja.
Stop.
Scrolling through this.
You know what? Put out the Twitter poll.
Yeah.
Put out the Twitter
I
poll.
told
Old
you.
Ninja.
I
He has
said
at least
we.
18 awards. At least 18.
For acting.
I said in my intro we were gonna have some freezing cold takes. I delivered my promise on freezing cold takes.
All right. Jeez, I gotta switch it up because this is bullshit. Demon Slayer, goddammit, has
Man.
been epic.
I fucking caught up.
I know Blue is caught up. Finally got to the Spider Family. I know Kronos is caught up. What are y'all thinking right now of Demon fucking Slayer?
Still
You
number one
already know.
anime show, dude.
I got y'all on that shit. Thank you for finally fucking watching.
Well, I've been watching for years.
I've been watching this for
Not since day one, but probably like week 2.
I've been watching it since day one.
Yeah, me too. It was good.
Dude, so
I did.
so I'm all caught up with the spider people. These spider people are creepy as fuck. Like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
these motherfuckers fuck with my head. Like, every time I'm watching, I'm like, I gotta check myself for fucking spiders and shit. Like, all of a sudden my arm will start twitching. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm in Debo's pigeon coop, sweating like a runaway slave.
I love how they switched it up too. How like you thought the badass spider dude was like the big one, and
Yeah,
it
the
wasn't.
father?
Yeah, and it definitely was not the father.
Nah, dad was on fucking all might power
It was
and
like he
shit.
was on Maury Povich. He was not the father.
Yeah.
No. The twist at the end when they explain, like, you know, what's really going on. I'm not sure if did you get to that part where
I
they,
haven't, but please continue. Go. I'll watch it tonight. Don't
We're
worry.
talking about episode 19.
yeah, but where you understand where the family comes from.
Or you talking about episode?
I'm not sure which episode.
Have you
It
seen-
might have been 20.
Have you seen the butterfly chick?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I've
20.
been to Butterfly Chick, but like
Go.
Shit.
so they break down to how the spider family came to be. Because at first I thought there was just 5 of them, but there's not, or at least originally there was more than 5. But it's
Yeah.
basically the one that's in control is.
He's a badass.
He's like I want to say what happened, but I don't want to fucking spoil it because
No,
it's
dude,
fucking badass.
No. We're not gonna spoil it for you, man.
Yeah, man, because it's
Yeah.
like on a
the
whole.
odd-
Like you think the show is good, and all of a sudden the show's like, "Hey, hold my beer," and it's like,
I'm gonna watch it tonight. All right.
Yeah, because that fucking butterfly chick is like legit terrifying.
yes,
So like the other guy that's like the badass dude, who's like the best. You think he's like the best demon
like
slayer?
think
Yeah.
about like Ichigo is like the main character, but then all of a sudden you meet
Tanjiro?
from Bleach.
He's
Oh,
he's
okay,
trying to
okay.
compare it to.
But yeah, and the new guy that comes in, it's like what's his name's brother. That's the head of that family. I can't think of his name. The guy who has like the hair that's down. He has like the 3 streaks in his hair from Bleach. I can't think of his name. He's the one that he goes button guy and his thing drops into the
know
ground.
who
More
you're
swords
talking
pop
about.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, that guy. So this guy shows up and he's like bad fucking ass. Like he basically kills fucking 2 demons, 1 strike each one. So he only took out his sword twice.
He's one slash man.
Yeah, basically. Dude. Basically, this fucking dude is fucking badass, and he has similar weapon style as the main guy, but he's
Tanjiro,
like
yeah.
on a whole different fucking level.
Yeah,
like,
he has an 11th form.
Oh shit.
Where
Yeah.
Tanjiro was like, "There's an 11th." Yeah.
That's good shit.
But
okay.
there's like this butterfly chick who's like, she's fucking terrifying.
yeah,
Okay.
she's
'Cause
like creepy, terrifying.
She basically gives this one demon the choice to like, listen, all right, we're gonna be friends now, but you gotta be honest with me. How many humans have you killed? Like, you gotta be real honest. And she gives a number, and she's like,
He says
are you,
5.
and she's like, are you sure? He's like, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the 80s. And she's like, 'cause I saw all these fucking things, and I'm pretty sure they're yours.
yeah,
And she's like, all right, listen, you still want to be my friend? Like, you're going to have to pay penance for all the people that you killed. He's like, basically, I'm going to take out your eyes. I'm going to basically rip your guts out 80-something times and just torture you. And then you'll be fine. We'll be friends then. But you got to pay. You got to pay the price.
And you gotta be accurate.
Yeah. And, yeah, she was, like, real fucked up.
Nice.
And she has a really unique sword and a really unique skill set. She's the only demon slayer that doesn't have to cut off a demon's head to kill them.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she has like a crazy.
you probably seen her because she comes and help out Lightning Dude.
Yes, I did. See
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So that's her, but we haven't talked about it yet. But like that scene with I can't think of the character's name, but the guy with the lightning speed. Holy shit! Like the fact that so he's basically a fucking coward. Like he's constantly crying and shit like that. But he falls in love with the main guy's sister, and he runs in try to save her, and he runs into like one of the spider families, and like we get to see his fucking backstory about how he came to be, how his grandfather was a demon slayer, and he was like the best.
Yeah.
And he wanted to pass on his skills to his grandson. And everybody's like, oh, your granddad is wasting his fucking time on you. You're nothing but a fucking weakling, this and that, and this and that. But the granddad's like, look, if you can learn one ability, learn it to the fucking 10,000th degree. Just be the fucking best at that. And the kid took that shit to heart, and you understand why he's a fucking badass. Nice. He has one fucking ability, and he does it very, very fucking well.
Good
which is
shit.
fucking dope.
I'm glad you fucking caught up, man.
Dude, because I like to binge watch my shows, and like, I'll get to the point where I'll forget that it comes on, and all of a sudden you guys are talking about it, like, shit, I gotta jump back into it. I need to like mark my calendar when shows come on. Or well, what's cool with Verve is that it actually will, on the, at least if you have the app on your phone, it will alert you when a new episode's available.
I do like that.
That's kind of cool.
Speaking of which, we are going to Crunchyroll Expo. We did not hit up Silicon Valley Comic Con. I will eat some crow. I messed up a lot of it with the follow through with them on the passes. It was just me listed on there, and I applied for everybody, but it just didn't work out. Crunchyroll is going to be different. We got our passes already. That's coming the weekend after this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Labor Day weekend.
Hopefully I'll be there on at least Friday. I got to talk to my mother-in-law.
Okay.
Hopefully Friday, hopefully Saturday as well, but we're coming out.
Oh yeah.
We're not getting a panel, right? Apparently.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a panel, but
Fuck.
we should be hopefully able to do some interviews. We're still working on some of that. And it looks like it's going to be a fucking packed ass show.
So wait, kind of jump back to Demon Slayer. Another cool thing we got to learn about is the character with the pig mask too.
Yeah.
Like we could see, it's almost like with
He's real pretty.
like it was funny because when he took off his mask and the main character was like, "Oh shit, you're a girl," and it's like when he said that I was like, "Wait, that can't be a girl because he's running around with no fucking shirt on the whole time. Like he ain't got no titties." But it turns out to be a really, really pretty ass boy. But it's weird because when he doesn't have his mask on, he's actually he's smaller in size. But when he have his mask on, he seems a bit bigger.
Yeah.
But what's interesting with his character, there's a little bit of a it almost seems like he was raised wild. But he's like he doesn't have social interaction cues or whatever, however it's pronounced or however it works. But like he's learning different like things, and it's almost like with Vegeta where he was like a murderous warrior, and he became kind of toned down once he met Goku. Where this guy, he's like kind of slowing down. Like there's a scene where he's like running from the guy, and he's like, "What the fuck am I doing? I'm a fucking badass." And he turns around and starts chasing the monster back the other direction.
All right, I got the names now. Right, Zenitsu was the lightning guy, and Inosuke is the boar's head guy.
Yeah.
But that dude's fucking badass though. Like when he chopped off the Spider Dead's arm and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh," he's like, "I know what to do. I'm just gonna hit you with one sword and keep beating the other sword with the other fucking sword."
Yeah. The other thing is, I got to give some props, man. I mean, literally on Toonami, they put Fire Force already on there.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah. And then there was one other fucking. Dr. Stone is coming. Even though it's just out.
Yeah, because Dr. Stone, it's good. It's like it's a thinking anime.
Yeah.
And I like it. So.
That's the one where the people they turn in stone, right? The one you talked about a couple weeks ago.
Are you caught up with that one? Are you guys watching it?
I'm still a little bit behind. I'm like only on 3 or 4. But
it
seems so far I like it. I'm just amazed that we're getting it already on Toonami. Usually there's like almost a year delay or something.
Oh no, Toonami's really good at as soon as the shows air in Japan, probably like 2 or 3 weeks later it'll air on Toonami, because that's what they did with Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
With like their season 2, they did that, and it was like, how the fuck are they doing that? But they got the skills and stuff down now where they can make that shit happen.
Gotta give props to Toonami, and hopefully there'll be some big announcements for the fall and winter, the rest of this year really, with Crunchyroll Expo. I'm looking forward to whatever the fuck they have in store, because they've been knocking it out of the park. Yeah, they've been knocking it out of the park lately. God fucking.
They always knock it out of the fucking park.
Yeah, no fucking shit, man.
Actually, this will be my first time going to it at San Jose Convention Center, because I think the first time I went was when it was at the Santa Clara one, and it was like small, but you can tell it was bigger than it needed, or the venue wasn't the right size for their thing.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I definitely like the Crunchyroll Expo. We get to see a lot of. These have previews and stuff like that. And I think this one is. Some of the stuff is 24 hours, just like Fanime.
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
There was a girl who I took a picture of at Crunchyroll. She was the homegirl from from Attack on Titans, but then I took a picture at not Silicon Valley, at Fanime.
The Bowser chick, right?
Yeah, the Bowser chick. Yeah. I took her picture.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, you took my picture at Crunchyroll." I'm like, "Wait, I did?" She's like, "Yeah, I was such." So I was like, "Damn."
She bad though.
She was thick. She was tiny thick too, like fun size. Like you know how you get the little, you know how you get the Halloween candy. Like she was a little fun size.
You know, it's so weird. Like, okay, so I gotta be honest. Like a lot of the cosplay chicks that you see that are like famous ones, they're like actually really tiny.
Oh yeah, like
But
K-Bear.
You just can't tell from like pictures. They look like normal size, but
It's their
they're like
angles.
tiny.
I think the one that like Ivy Doom Kitty, she's not very small.
No, she's not. No,
She smells like cotton candy.
but like, what was the? God, I forget the other girl's name. There's a few cosplayers that we take pictures of, but they're really small in stature.
Oh, what's the name was really small. God, the girl with the tattoo that says "Game Over" on her
That's what I was
legs.
gonna say. I forgot her fucking name though.
Oh, Liz. Her name's Liz.
Yeah,
Liz
Liz
Cat.
Katz. Yeah,
Yeah. She's
small.
she's tiny. I didn't even know who she was until after I took her picture.
Yeah,
I was like,
she was cool as fuck though.
yeah.
Just
She can't
like-
dance though. Oh my god! Every time I see
chair?
her on Instagram dancing,
New chair.
makes my
Yes.
dick soft.
I got it for my birthday. If you're
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
there you go.
Cone's got a fucking captain's chair.
My girlfriend came back, got me a new chair for my birthday.
It's like a gaming chair.
So, yeah, it's a gaming chair. It's got lumbar support, so I have to sit up correctly. And
There you go.
yeah, it's a very nice chair. And actually, it like lays back all the way.
Ooh.
So
Tell us about your birthday, man. You had a party. Come on.
my 40th, I turned 40 last weekend. My birthday is August 17th, and so the first thing I did in the morning was I went and did jujitsu for every year now. I roll basically sparring for however many years that I am old for however many minutes. So this year was 40 minutes straight rolling, and I did a video with commentary this year. The first time I did commentary of me or any kind of jujitsu. So hope you liked it. If you watch it, it's on our channel. It was pretty cool, like showing like my techniques and like what I'm thinking when I'm rolling and stuff like that.
Really ignorant ass question though. The commentary obviously is done afterwards in the editing. You're not doing commentary while you're rolling.
No,
fuck?
I was about to say that'd be hard as fuck. Well,
yeah, because I'm telling what I was
Like,
going to do.
yeah, I was like, wait a minute, hold
Part
up.
of my thing
I'm
of
not joking. How'd you know that? It's like that episode of Family Guy where Peter's narrating his life, and he's talking about, and Loris walked in, and she was not the same woman as she used to be. Oh, I woke up in a daze.
to be honest, like with a white belt, I could definitely commentate while
Okay.
I'm choking them out. But against like higher belts, I can't commentate. I just part of my game is deception, so I can't commentate. But yeah, it's after the fact. I recorded it. I sat down and I watched the video, and actually it was K-Mac's idea because I asked her and my oldest daughter if they wanted to see like how I did on my birthday. And so I'm showing the video. I'm like commentating about it, and my girlfriend was like, "Hey, you should probably do that, and I can make a video on it."
Yeah.
So I did that. I recorded myself sitting down here in this chair and did a commentary video. It ended up hopefully pretty good. If you guys liked it, let me know. If not, then let me know too, because I will not do them ever again. But yeah, my birthday, that's how it started, is I did a 40 minutes straight rolling, and then we went to a place called Big Al's. Well, I showered and shit, in bed.
Dirty balls and shit.
Had a shower beer, it's my fucking birthday. And then went out to a place called
Gotta
Big
try
Al's
that.
in Milpitas. You never had a shower beer?
I probably had not a beer, but I'm pretty sure I had like a drink.
Yeah, dude, do a shower beer. It's like it's the best fucking thing ever. Especially if you like.
I've been in a hot tub and had
How
a
do I put
beer.
this? So, go and like bust a nut, take a shower, and have a shower beer, and see how much better you feel.
There you go.
You're gonna feel like $1 million fucking bucks.
I like it.
It's the fucking best.
So what would happen if I like smoked weed and then busted a nut and then had a shower fucking
That's-
beer with the?
that's the
Would I just
trifecta.
fucking start transitioning into just pure matter or
That's the
pure energy?
That's a trifecta, man. But yeah, so we went to Big Al's, and it's a place that's new in Milpitas.
Yeah.
And it's a really big place. They have arcade games, a bunch of bowling alleys, a restaurant, and some other shit to do.
Sports bar, big.
Yeah, sports bar, basically. We had a lot of fun. I got to see most of you there. I think all of you.
Yeah, I showed
Yeah,
up.
y'all showed up.
Yeah, we were down there.
I was late to the game, but I was there.
Yeah. So it was a really fun night. Nothing major happened. We just we had a lot of fun.
Nothing.
I beat
never
old
been-
Ninja in Mario Kart.
Oh, did
I've
Put
never
that
been
on
to that
record.
venue though, man. That's a good spot.
It's
brand new, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, brand new.
TVs were nice there. That was the thing that stuck out. I thought my eyes were gonna bleed. I was like, they're
Yeah.
huge and they're clear.
The one
Yeah.
thing they can do is make it old fashioned. Oh my god, the drink I had the guy made was fucking horrible.
Bro, so because I was tired, obviously, because I did a bunch of jiu-jitsu early in the day, and so I went to go get a one of my old favorites, a Red Bull and vodka.
Oh yeah.
But I had to get a sugar Red Bull and vodka. So I went to the bar. I had to wait a little bit
Yeah.
to get my drink.
Yeah, the bars was pretty slow.
Yeah, so then I finally get a bartender, and I'm like, can I get a sugar-free Red Bull and vodka? And he's like, well, what kind of vodka do you want? And I was like, I don't really care. What you got, Sky? And he's like, oh, the Sky is probably not good. And I'm like, probably not good.
Not
like,
good.
How is vodka not good? Like, it's fucking vodka. It
Yeah.
doesn't go bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, fucking whatever. I was like, all right, you got Kettle One? He's like, maybe that one either. I'm like, what the fuck?
Is he nutting in these fucking vodkas? What the
I'm
fuck?
Like, dude, what the yeah, it was
Yeah.
like super weird. And he's like, I'm like, Grey Goose? He's like, oh, Grey Goose is good. I'm like, all right, well, what the fuck? Like, that was like
Yeah, it
really
was
odd
weird.
to me.
He's jacking off in there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'm like, dude, that was like really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like,
Opening
when
the
I-
bottle with his asshole or something.
When I went to go get the old fashioned, like I asked the guy like, hey, how do you make your old fashioned? He's like, yeah, we usually make it this way, but a lot of people like to have the bitters in there. I'm like, you're supposed to make it with fucking bitters. Like, how the fuck? He's like, yeah, we use this and this. I was like, no, okay, I want it this way, and he made it that way. I was like, this is fucking garbage. It was so fucking sweet.
But again, Big ALs, man. That's the spot right there. You know that's what it is.
Yeah, they actually had a few games that were on free play. If you went to like the back left side bar, like they had the Simpsons on free play. They had
nice.
the Ninja Turtles.
And
Yeah,
pretty cool.
The Ninja Turtles was legit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good game.
I'm gonna have to watch that Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I've not like watched all of them like I
Oh.
used to the '90s Ninja Turtles,
Gotcha.
but
See,
it encouraged me to go watch.
it was actually solid. I mean, I like that one, and I even though it was more controversial, I like even the newer one too. I'll watch it with my kids and shit though.
Oh, the one where they're like, isn't Ralph like the leader now?
Yeah, Raph's
Yeah.
the leader, and he's a little.
What?
He has a different size.
Yeah, he's like the largest of them all.
Yeah, but and April's a little black girl, which I guess I heard that was from the cartoons or comics originally.
Like,
But-
April was black?
I have not confirmed that. I don't know. But anyway, it's a Ninja Turtle cartoon. It's fun all the way around, and the game was great. But go ahead, though. You enjoyed your birthday all the way around?
Yeah, it was good. It's weird. So I gotta be honest with you.
Uh-oh.
I never actually imagined turning 40. Like even when I was 39.
Well, you're black. You're black man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's super weird. Being 40, having a teenage daughter that's gonna graduate high school next year, and also having like a 2.5-year-old.
Yep.
And like actually being pretty close to contempt in life at this point in time. It's like it's super weird. Yeah. Hopefully I'll make it to hopefully 80.
Yeah.
So then it would be like my midlife. But the weird thing for me is that like I had my midlife crisis when I was like 25, 26.
It's a little early,
So,
but all right.
yeah, super early. Yeah, so that's probably one of the main reasons why. But it's been fun. I try to stay healthy now, and life has been pretty good lately.
Good shit.
So yeah.
All right. Do we haven't done this in a while? Not that I'm trying to rap, but like, do we have any older B than BTIs that we were saving for when all 5 of us were in the fucking studio?
Yes,
Yeah,
we were, but
I had one on there.
You had to research it.
Okay. What was?
So
I
it
ain't
was
done
what
shit for research.
it was what decade had the best music,
Ooh.
80s or 90s,
And-
and then give at least 3 songs to back it up.
Yeah, see,
Fucking shit. 80s or 90s?
80s or
80s
90s.
or the 90s. So you have to pick an era and then 3 songs from that era.
I gotta Google some stuff just
See,
to make sure. 'cause it-
I feel like we should probably come back to this one maybe
I
next
don't-
week.
This would be free balling off the dome. But yeah, I mean,
well,
my
what?
gut is telling me 80s, but
I gotta go with 90s. The first song I looked up was Humpty Dance. That was 1990 on
There
the
you
dots.
go.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be close.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with 90s. It's hard for me to just say 3, like whatever songs.
yeah, there's so many.
But
goddamn.
and it's also a little bit biased because it's like where we kind of. I'm sure every generation would be like, oh yeah, this music was better based on what I was going through at the time and what I can relate to. But like I remember like when the Chronic dropped and stuff,
yeah.
and
In early 80s, I was a toddler. That's the other thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I remember a little bit of whatever the fuck my parents were jamming out to, which was mostly
I remember
Stevie Wonder.
Michael Jackson,
70s,
but
Yeah.
I got to go back and erase my fond memories of Michael Jackson.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Damn.
I'll be honest with you right now. I mean, listen, most of the '80s music sucked except for metal.
I just,
And some rap because that's where NWA came up and shit like that. But the vast majority of the music, for my opinion,
I get you.
was pretty shit. Besides metal,
See, I loved. There was really good R&B in that era for me.
in the '80s,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
oh name
I'm-
5.
Janet was doing stuff. You had New Edition. You had
New edition of
Bobby
the
Brown.
yeah.
Bobby Brown,
Yeah,
New
Bobby Brown,
Edition.
New Edition. Yeah,
Uh,
I
you-
give him
There was
that.
Cool in the Gang back then. The
Got
Gap Band,
Smokey
Yeah.
Robinson.
Smokey.
That was
Well,
more modern.
Smokey was more
Nah.
older.
Okay, so all that stuff the '90s did better, in my opinion.
Actually, so
Luther.
I would base my assessment like this. So Michael McDonald,
Oh yeah.
he has a song. He was like popping up stuff back then where everyone thought he was black, but he was doing R&B. But he
Is
was
that-
he was with the Doobie Brothers. So
He's the one
what-
that did the song with Patti LaBelle, right?
Yes,
Where,
he did.
Yeah, I swear to God,
But
I thought that guy was black.
his song "I Keep Forgetting" got reused
That shit
in
was great.
in the so that song got reused in the 90s for Warren G and Nate Dogg,
Yep.
and then again currently for a current artist. So something like that that's able to transcend several decades means that song was hot and is still continuing to be hot.
No, because the song itself, nobody remembers.
Exactly.
Oh no.
You don't remember? I keep forgetting Michael McDonald because he was huge back
Hold
then.
on, I fucking do, obviously, but the vast majority of people, they don't remember that shit.
But
I mean,
there-
depending on when you were born, super young kids.
But we remember shit before our era as well.
Some. It all depends on what your parents
Michael
played.
McDonald was pretty much before our era.
he was he became huge in the 80s.
Yeah, but like you just said,
Early 80s.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in the 70s, but like the late 70s, 79, like the latest 70s. All right, but yeah, that shit doesn't resonate.
I gotta
with
go.
me.
Yeah.
I mean, if
90s.
I'm going
his,
90s.
his song still resonates because people are still using it.
What's
That's
the,
why I'm
what's the name
saying.
of the song without looking?
I
it up?
keep forgetting. I just
Yeah,
said the name of the song. No, that's the name of the song.
A pimp named Slickback.
I mean, that beat is still hot, and people are still using his lyrics from that song in today's work.
Well, they're using the beat, not the.
No,
not
some
the
of them.
lyrics.
No, some of them are still using the lyrics in the same song. In fact, yes,
mean-
I have one.
This
the
is
current
one, we're going down the rabbit hole of one song.
Hip hop wise, I mean,
Oh,
I think of like
the current song the artist name is Younger. The song is called Remember. His chorus is the same chorus as the I Keep Remember song, and even a little bit after the same lyrics.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
But when I think of '80s like hip hop, I think of like Run DMC.
Yep.
Obviously, like Walk This Way was a huge fucking song at the time, and it blended the two
Genres.
two genres historically.
Well, Walk This Way, I think, like led into the 80s. Or the 90s.
Yeah. So I mean,
That was
the
like
most of it
intro.
is like
Yeah.
late. That's why I was like, I have to Google to make sure which one it followed in, because right in that whole transition between like 88 through like 94ish,
Yeah.
it just seemed like everything was fucking absolutely amazing. And even like so, like LL Cool J was, I guess, the main dude. You had like Rakim and some of that, but
Wow,
that
that
didn't
starts in the 80s.
that didn't really hit me as well as like Dre, Snoop, that whole Notorious B.I.G. like all, like Tupac, like all that stuff was like 90s for me. So that's kind of where I give the nod to.
So if you're people listening to this right now, I can understand if you're like an older person. Let's listen to this because we're talking about like basically our formative years for
Of
most
course.
of us, and our formative years is basically the 90s, and so that's what things like had the most influence on us. But I mean, for me, like I listened to a lot of music in the 80s when I was a kid. I mean, I had my tape player, listening to shit, you know, with my Iowa fucking headphones and
Sony.
fucking Sony Walkman and shit like that. But still, the 90s still resonated with me like way more.
It's fine.
But it could be because, you know, I was going through puberty at the time.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
it,
I think
Every
that's the main
song,
reason why.
every song was
Statistic-
telling you a story.
statistically, the music you hear from age 9 or 10 through age 22 to 25,
Yeah.
that's usually your favorite music for the rest of your fucking life.
Even like shit, like historically, music-wise, seemed to happen more so in the 90s than in the 80s. Like you had the whole backlash about lyrics with parental advisory Advisory.
Ooh. Well, let me just say this though: you had Two Live Crew in the late '80s, and NWA in the late '80s, and obviously Guns N' Roses doing their thing in the late '80s too. I mean, there was a lot.
When I think,
Prince.
I sort of tie the whole
Prince was in the
NWA.
80s.
NWA formed in like what 89 ish.
80, I think 87.
Yeah.
Okay, but I normally think of like the whole Rodney King riots is tied to that aspect of
No.
the whole fuck the police.
No.
NWA had
was before that.
multiple albums long before then.
Yes, they did. I'm just saying, like, when it seemed like they were at the peak of the controversy and when everyone was talking about NWA and all that controversy about all the shit going around with LA at the time, I sort of mentally timestamp it as
Based
90s.
on our age. Based on our
Well, in terms of the Rodney King riots.
Oh, wait. I think you're right. No. So, Fuck the Police came out in, like, 1988. Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. But then the riots happened in 1992.
Yeah, so 4 years later. It's not crazy out of...
Yeah, I'm still slinging on the 80s because there's still, like, there's so much songs that people love so much that they're using it in 90s song and
I
current
think
songs.
Fuck the Police was from, like, it was the Watts riot, right? Or,
Oh,
No, the
possibly.
Watts riot was from the 60s.
No. What the
Yeah.
fuck? There was another riot that was around the same time, though.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, no, that was Rodney King.
Because remember, it was like the Koreans had to put their own stores and shit like that.
That was,
What was-
that was
that was,
LA, that was the LA riots.
LA riots, right? But that
From
wasn't
92.
Rodney, yeah, that wasn't Rodney King, though. Was
Yeah,
it?
that was... mhm.
Yeah.
Because I remember the truck driver being pulled out of his truck and
That was-
beaten and
yeah,
shit.
Reginald
that was
Denny.
right, too, Yeah.
And Sublime did a great song about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Sorry, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue, get in here. What was your take?
I'm going to say the 90s just because it is the era I grew in. The three songs that I was going to say was One Sweet Day with Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men. Cupid by 112, which is
Oh, shit.
one of my favorite fucking bands.
Wow. 112 was good though.
They were great.
And 3 would be, the one song by Boyz II Men.
End of the road.
Not, was it In the Road? Yeah, In the Road, yeah. That song told my life story.
That's hella funny. I mean, two big albums, like, worldwide came out of the 80s. One was Michael Jackson's Thriller, obviously one of the biggest albums of all time. And then also Off the Wall, his, like, first solo album. Those had, like, hits left and right. I mean...
Yeah, Michael Jackson is
There's
icon.
There's no wrong answer. This is all subjective. and
Yeah,
all.
of course.
You know what I
Your
mean? But,
take on it.
I'm
you know,
sticking...
if you enjoyed like Madonna and Prince and Michael Jackson and Bon Jovi and George Michael and some of that stuff, then
But they had good songs in the 90s, too.
They did. They kept going.
So this is the reason why I say that the 90s has better music than the 80s is because the 90s gave birth to more new style of music than the 80s did. Right? So alternative was huge.
Ooh, I thought alternative had its roots in the late '80s.
I think it really gained ground in the 90s. Like when you came with like Nirvana.
Oh, the
and
grunge movement.
Grunge and shit like that. Even if you go to like
Rage Against the Machine.
yeah, that's like what alternative music came out in the fucking 80s? Like you gotta let me know. I mean, I don't remember any of them.
I thought Nirvana actually formed in the late '80s.
They might
And
have
their
formed, but they
fir-
definitely didn't drop a new album.
I thought they had an album. Hold on,
Not the 80s,
Bleach?
because that was like
Yeah, before...
no, it was the MTV era, like
Yeah.
like legit MTV, like when what Smells Like Teen Spirit came in the 90s.
Definitely.
And before Nirvana, there was Temple of the Dog,
Yeah,
which they recorded first but released way later.
Yeah, but I mean, look, Guns N' Roses was huge too.
There was
Oh yeah, they were huge.
they were
Aerosmith
huge,
was
yeah.
huge in the 80s.
B-52s, REM.
Oh, R.E.M. was
I
huge
liked
in
me
the
some
90s.
R.E.M. too.
but like I think gangster rap came like a much better foothold in America
Duran
in the 90s.
Duran.
You know what I mean? Like way more artists with way
I
different
agree.
messages.
I agree, but I would also say you can't talk about gangster rap without talking about NWA, and they definitely had a
They
foothold.
started it,
in
yeah, for sure. But then they also split off and they made their own. They solidified. They started gangster rap, but they also like perpetuated it like through their own means. They
Sure.
propagated it. You know what I mean? And I think like they started it, but the '90s was like all about gangster rap.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, they were the only ones in the '80s. You look in the '90s, there were so many fucking groups,
Oh, yeah.
individuals that fucking did that shit, and it became so much more popular. It changed the American culture in the 90s, not in the 80s, in the 90s.
You had
I could see that.
easily two of the top 5 hip hop artists of all time came to prominence in the 90s. They were murdered in the 90s after a civil war between the two coasts. I mean, that played out historically. You have the whole Death Row Records empire that came and fell apart in the 90s. I mean, it's
Just for quick
Bad Boy.
Just for quick clarification, and I'm with you. Barely, just barely, but the first Nirvana album, Bleach, was 89.
But there wasn't a hit though.
I can't remember what was on that album.
Yeah, look it up because it
it's
definitely
like
was.
late-
Smells
yeah.
Like Teen Spirit was their first
It was
hit.
their big hit, yeah.
So
Kind of jumping into the chat room, we got a few people responding with their take on it. So Charles Drafter 11 said, late 80s, early 90s, Tony,
Yeah,
LL
that
Cool
was
J,
good.
and
Yes.
DMX.
Yeah.
Poison, DMX.
So hold on, DMX is not late 80s,
Yeah.
early 90s.
DMX
He
is
was
90s.
Late 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, like in the 80s, you had like all the stuff that they keep, like that were super catchy. A lot of
Tribe
one-hit
Called
number-
Quest started in the 80s.
Yeah, but like a one
Beastie
big,
Boys.
the big one, Aha, with Take on Me. They won like best album of the year. Then they broke up the next year, but like their song was everywhere. It was in like a shit ton of 80s movies. John Hughes movies had like
course.
big 80s hits in it.
80s gave us Fresh Prince.
90s
yes.
gave us boy bands, too.
Oh, shit.
Or was it more
Yeah.
2000?
Well,
No, I want to say that's
no,
late
no,
90s.
No.
That's late 90s.
And would you classify like the Jackson 5 as a boy band?
Oh, yeah.
Or-
Definitely.
or new
70s.
or new edition.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
Most-
70s.
so
I guess they give us
Yeah.
pop.
most people think that boy bands are Caucasian boy bands.
Oh, yeah.
Most people don't think that because there was definitely. I mean, Boys to Men, if you want to be technical, was a boy band,
Yes.
Yep.
Agreed.
New edition
But-
was a boy band.
but I would not consider them a boy band.
Yeah, I got
yeah.
you.
New edition was a boy band as well.
Especially when we're talking about banging underage chicks.
Yeah.
Backstage
goddamn.
underage. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
Let me
Don't
just-
forget
disgusting.
Color Me Bad.
Oh yeah.
They were a great fucking.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had some
they were
hits.
great.
Did you see that meme that came out recently about them? It's like,
No.
oh, I remember when Kenny G, Rick James.
Oh, that's another. See, Rick James was huge in the 80s.
Oh, what's
he
the
brought
other
us
guy?
Tina Marie.
No, see, keep saying huge in the '80s, but MC Hammer outdid him by a lot. He took his own fucking beat and blew the fuck up.
That's true.
People
Yeah.
know MC Hammer way more than Rick James. Ask any. You can ask my daughter right now if you want.
Yeah, but after the Chappelle show with
Yeah,
Charlie
that's what bothered
Murphy.
me. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, because how many
probably-
they were making shirts that
It could be
said
right,
I'm
but
Rick.
let me see.
There were shirts that were saying I'm Rick James,
It
bitch.
doesn't matter. You can tell. You can ask. Any,
They are not making shirts that say too legit to quit. No more.
Listen,
That's
listen.
hard.
All right. Ask any person below the age of fucking 30 who Rick James is.
But you think they're
name
gonna
it-
know Hammer?
Name a hit song. Name a hit song by Rick James.
Fire and
Super-
Desire.
Super Freak.
No,
Super Freak.
We can.
Yeah.
Any kid younger than like below 30, they can't.
Yeah.
MC Hammer, they could probably at least know who the fuck he is. If you have somebody under the age of 30 who Rick James is, they'll probably say Dave Chappelle show. If you ask them what song did he make, they will be like, "What? He made music?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, Warrior
And
Fella.
that's a shame.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
but
What,
I
a
mean-
what a Warrior Fella.
So Warrior Fella in the group says 90s. He said you gotta be by
Oh,
Destry.
Desiree.
Desiree.
How
Sorry,
dare
my
you.
bad. I'm fucking just reading words.
That's the one that In Living Color tore apart.
Oh yeah, that was the one that I know it's that yeah.
Kind of.
There's Keep Your Head Up by Tupac and Enter Sandman by Metallica.
Great. Those are great picks.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Oh, wasn't
I'm a Metallica fan. So.
yeah, but didn't Metallica start in the 80s as well?
They did, but they didn't blow up until the Black Album, which was actually, if you're a true Metallica fan, even I'm a true Metallica fan, but I didn't mind the Black Album. But that was like their downfall
Okay.
up until, because they didn't have one of the main things. They didn't have an instrumental song on there, and it wasn't as metal. And that's when they started. I think it's when they didn't cut their hair yet, but the next album they cut their hair, and they got like more kind of corporate.
Oh, and Load.
you literally
That was good.
twerking music starts in the 90s with Juvenile.
Oh, with Thong Song.
Juvenile
the
back that
Thong
ass
Song
up.
was
that-
great.
No, no.
No, it was
no.
Aretha Franklin.
Hold up, time out. Uncle Luke,
Oh.
big booty hoes,
not
home with
with
it.
it.
Let me see you touch the ground.
That is not as universal as Juvenile back that ass up. You can if you play Juvenile Back
that
That
a
Ass Up at a
90s?
wedding, everybody is getting out of their chair.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, you
Is
might be
that
right
is
about
that a
No, no, no.
90s song?
So where he's coming from, you went to HBCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably why you think of it. like,
Oh yeah.
Well, that was some
for sure.
that was some
Yeah.
Miami. That was some Miami bass.
Uncle Luke
Oh
was
yeah.
great.
No,
Yeah.
back then they were playing
so horny.
Scrub the Ground and fucking Let Me
was-
See You.
I just gotta give credit, regardless of how you feel about it. Luke started the booty shake. Period. Like you didn't see that in hip hop.
that bass music.
Bass, thongs, booty shake videos. That was Luke.
Yeah, that was the South for sure.
He didn't
You played 2 Live Crew at your wedding reception.
in the South.
In
maybe.
the South, yeah.
I mean,
I don't.
what do
It's
you
not
mean,
as,
maybe? You got married in the South.
he's not as universal as Juvenile. Back that ass
that
up.
one song. You're right, but
Is that even the 90s or that 2000?
Juvenile Back That goes hard. You hear that on radio
we're
rotation.
We're going into the same problem I was talking about before. It's the Rick James versus MC Hammer problem.
yeah, maybe.
So
Generation thing.
It is a generate. This is a great one, man.
Yeah.
And we're doing all this off
So
the
wait,
top of our
so the
head.
reason why I even brought this question up because I was at getting my haircut with my barber and he had asked a question. He's like he had a different conversation with somebody else. He's like, yeah, man, what music genre you think or which decade you thought had the best music? I'm like, fuck, that's a good ass question. And we literally spent like the whole time he's cutting my hair, we're just listing off fucking songs like back to back to back. Like, oh yeah, like the 90s had this, but the 80s had this. It was a real fucking hard answer. It was hard to answer the question.
You try to have you try to have Halloween without hearing Thriller 50,000 times on the
sure.
hour.
For
I'm
real.
just saying.
I'm just breaking it up by like regions.
Watching the video was like a mini movie. So that
Oh, it was a
huge.
mini movie.
When I-
it was
when I
directed
think-
by Steven Spielberg.
When I think of
Oh,
like
it's
New
directed
York,
by
I
John
think of like
Landis.
Wu-Tang Clan. I think of Nas, Jay-Z. Even if I go down south, I start thinking of Outkast, Scarface,
Ghetto Boys.
Ghetto Boys. If I go Midwest, I start thinking about Nelly. These are all 90 prominent. That's when their shit was just flying off the shelves.
I
and
hear you.
I mean, like I said, we're sort of a creature to where we grew up at.
Yeah, the
Well,
time frame.
Yeah.
I think that what makes it even like even more of a big catalyst is that in our era, when like what we're thinking of in the '90s, rap music especially became so prominent that they tried to fucking outlaw it.
Yeah.
People seem to forget about Tipper Gore and
Reverend Butts.
yeah, and all that shit trying to burn these fucking albums and shit like that. You didn't have stuff like that in the '80s and the '70s. Don't get me wrong. In the '80s, they tried to ban NWA, but they weren't trying to ban the entire genre.
Right.
They were literally trying to ban all gangster rap and any kind of like curse words in songs and shit.
Well, again, to go back to Uncle Luke and 2 Live Crew.
Oh, that started too. Yeah.
in the 80s, don't forget 2 Live Crew was literally banned in the USA, and some of their...
I think I banned in the '90s.
I feel like that was late
Yeah,
80s.
no, that was the 90s because they
That was
came
the
out with
90s.
this song called "Banned in the USA."
I feel like
Yeah.
they started like 87, 88.
They might have started, but that's not when the band came in.
See, I remember. So y'all know who the Eurythmics were. Well, when they
Yeah.
had "Sweet Dreams," but that song got remade by Marilyn Manson. I mean, that song was huge, and that was word for word by Marilyn Manson. Just he made it a rock song instead of that whole electronic.
Band in the USA came out and it was recorded between 1989 and 1990.
Wait, that was by
Right
a
on the
rap
border.
group?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that was by a rock group.
and it dropped in.
Oh no, it's Born in USA.
It, dro-
Oh,
it, dropped
that's,
in, it dropped in 1990.
90. Okay. All right.
And Do the Bart it dropped in 91. Band in the USA was
Oh,
dropped
do
in
the
1990.
Bart dance. Oh shit.
No, it's Do the Bart, not the Bart dance.
do the Bart.
You're
I
thinking
mean-
Bartman.
Oh yeah.
They definitely was not that.
Yeah.
Everybody do the Bart band. Come on if
Yeah,
you can, if you can.
it's a great discussion. We never even
Yeah.
mentioned Whitney Houston back in the
Oh, yeah,
day.
Whitney
Oh, yeah.
Houston.
Yeah.
What else was there?
Hall and Oates back in the day.
Mariah Carey when she dropped
Yeah.
her foot. God damn. She used to be really good, Mariah Carey.
J-Lo.
Yeah.
J-Lo. You and your J-Lo debate.
Right.
That's a good one. All right, let's wrap it on up. We might come back to that one because that's a good enough topic once we've done a little bit more homework. Sitz, what you got populating this week?
Doing more baby prep stuff, building bassinets and dressers and all that stuff. So also I'm supposed to go to the range tomorrow and shoot. I haven't gone shooting in a good little bit, so keep that skill up. So I'm excited to do that.
Good shit.
You got like firearms?
Yeah,
or-
firearms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because you used to do archery a lot.
Yeah, I need to get back. I need to get
back at it too.
I've been fucking around and not.
I got
shooting.
mine somewhere over there somewhere. Just, yeah.
Old Ninja, what you got?
Just doing some more Twitch stuff. I keep saying I was gonna do some Division stuff, but I put up different games on there. Playing some Gears, getting ready for Gears 5, and then trying to get on some Borderlands before that drops.
You say like a question.
Yeah, because I was trying to see if I can get it for free, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Other than that, not a whole lot. Just chilling, really.
Kronos, what you got?
So my oldest daughter leaves on Sunday, which is super sad.
Oh, damn.
Apparently, one of her friends listening to this podcast is going to graduate with her. So I will see you next year. All right, wherever you are, I'll see you next year. If you want to get a selfie with me or whatever, we'll do a thing and
Oh yeah.
we'll have a chat.
This is not a fucking teenage podcast.
It is not. But
I mean,
apparently he's listening. So
I mean, it kind of is, but I mean, we just fucking curse and say shit,
we're
but
super immature, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
but we say curse words like fucking shit and pussy.
yeah,
so-
I'm
Yeah.
saying like
And
they
then we
got
do
Discovery
Invader
Channel,
Zim
right?
reviews too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're versatile.
Yeah, whatever.
Fucking She-Ra and fucking Teen Titans Go, and
Yeah.
I mean, we might mention a few porn, but he's got Discovery Channel, don't he?
Yeah.
God damn.
Full fucking Eminem.
I'm trying to stay alive. Just saying, 'cause I'm 40 and I can feel fucking death knocking on my door.
All
It's
downhill.
like it's like if you go to a beach at night and you hear the waves coming in. You can't see them, but you hear them.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's coming. So that's what death is like for me at this point in my life. But it's all good. You know, whatever.
The Reaper coming.
Yeah.
Blue, what you got?
So is it Saturday? Oh, I think it's Saturday. So Saturday is the Sweetness and I's 2nd year anniversary. So
Hey.
we're gonna be celebrating our anniversary. So we're gonna be. So today we had our electrical stuff done to our house, so we're ready to move in. So we're gonna try to move in this weekend. But yeah, we plan on having dinner in our house for the first time on Saturday.
That's special.
So yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool. And it's funny because like when we got the keys for the house, I actually carried over the threshold. Like
Right.
first we went inside the house. I'm like, shit, I should have carried you in. So we went back outside and I picked her up and I carried her in. But yeah, so we're doing that. So we're gonna be moving. We got some like yard work to do and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, just chilling, getting ready to this whole home life thingy. It's kind of cool.
Congratulations.
I forgot to say, my fucking car broke down.
Oh shit.
Again?
the other day. Oh yeah.
Was it a radiator again or?
Some kind of massive coolant leak. I was at Costco and I came to my car and I was like, "There's all this water on the ground. All this water on the ground. I don't remember it being here."
Yeah.
And then I started my car. I was like, "One way to check." And as soon as I started the car, I was like, "Coolant low." And I was like, "Fuck!"
There we go.
So I got home. There was still water in my car, but after I refilled it,
Yeah.
like all the way, and then I got home and there was still coolant coming out, and I was like, "Shit!"
Sucks.
So it's been sitting on the side of the road in front of my house, and I'll have to figure out. Hope it's a fucking hose. If it's not a hose, then I don't know what I'm fucking do. So
Yeah,
I gotta
damn.
sell it or something, scrap it.
Damn it.
So
That sucks.
Big gaming. We didn't talk about anything gaming related.
Oh,
but,
from Gamescom.
Well, yeah, maybe we'll touch upon it next week. But Modern
oh,
Warfare.
I gotta pause you real quick. Stitch, what range are you going to? Somebody's asking in the podcast.
One in San Leandro. Normally I go to the one in Dublin, but there's one in San
There's
Leandro.
one in San Leandro?
Oh, the
Yeah,
outdoor one.
Indoor, outdoor.
outdoor one?
I'm not sure I'm supposed to meet up with
There's only got to be one in San Leandro.
Yeah, I've never been to that one. Normally we go to shoot at Dublin, but
There's one in Dublin?
yeah, guns and it's right where 580, 680 meets.
It's got to be the indoor.
Guns
outdoor.
fishing more or
I only
something
know
like that.
3 gun ranges. That's the one that's in by Great America, and the one in Milpitas, and then the shotgun range. Target Master.
So
That's right.
we didn't talk about anything with gaming. Modern Warfare is doing an alpha on PS4 exclusively, Friday through Sunday. I'm gonna jump on. It's a 2 versus 2 part, and
nice.
it looks fucking interesting. The game drops later on in October, and I'm fucking down for it. And then I keep going back to this fucking new clip on Death Stranding. This motherfucker, fucking the dude from Walking Dead, Norman Reedus, he's pissing in the wind. And I was like, God damn it, Kojima, you're a weird motherfucker, but I'm gonna buy your game.
And you can't see his dick.
Nope, you cannot.
In case you wanted to.
Yeah, they tried. They tried. So that's what's up.
They show a bunch of fucking dicks and boys.
The boys.
Yeah, the boys had some
yeah.
dicks.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's some
They,
titties.
they showed dicks in Common Row as well.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Skeet skate.
All right, we're Black and Black times Infinity. Check us
Infinity.
out on the internet as at BTHANBTI, BTHANBTI. Check out our newly revamped website at binheadproductions.com.
Thanks, John. Thanks, John.
/BTHANBTI. Check us out on Radio Republic, Player FM, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts. Go in there, rate us, give us 5 stars. On Facebook, we're Black and Black Times Infinity, and on YouTube, we're Black and Black Times Infinity. There you go.
Man at last has succeeded in penetrating further and further into the unknown vastness of space.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure shit. Just saying.
That was the first non-cold take you said today.
Oh, shout out to Gion, who we saw at San Diego Comic-Con. Glad to talk about that.
Who's your friend that we ran into at the one I talked to about Spider-Man with?
That's a random guy.
Random.
Tall
That was
dude.
random.
Random.
I thought
Random.
I knew
We'll
you.
talk about it afterwards.
Brandon? Oh, okay.
Come on, we'll talk about it afterwards.